The Citi Breakfast Show.
Machonyeji Machonye nuse awado nambawu esiai Machonye gbe Machonyeji Machonye nuse awado nambawu esiai for my way Machonye nuse awado for my way oh machonye nuse awado namawu esya for my way You can give the Lord a dance in this place.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Hallelujah.
22 minutes past the hour of 6. His name is Minister Joe Metal. He joined the Bethel Revival Choir for this beautiful worship medley. And the songs on it are so powerful. Let's praise him. Hallelujah. Hey. Starting off the show with Business Sense, brought to you by ADB.
Come on, clap your hands on it. Come on. I tried it.
And if you're a paid employee or a salaried worker, if you need a personal loan to resolve your financial issues, we're offering you a variety of personal loans, including top-up loans at significantly reduced interest rates. You enjoy a longer tenure of up to 6 years. This offer is open to non-customers as well. Call 0302210210 or visit any of our branches. ADB, the People's Bank, ADB, truly Agrican more.
Everybody.
All right, now this morning, Business Sense, I'm going to use two things. The first one is a quote from my favorite leadership writer, John Maxwell. It's a very controversial quote, I'm going to use it anyway. And then I will join it to a statement from a book written by Daniel Kahneman. It's called Thinking Fast and Slow. Thinking Fast and Slow. All right, so what did John Maxwell say? John Maxwell said, and if you're an educator, don't get angry with this. He says, educators take something simple and make it complicated. Communicators take something complicated and make it simple. Let me repeat that. This is John C. Maxwell. I didn't say it. This is John C. Maxwell. It's written over 150 books. He says, educators take something simple and make it complicated. All right? Maybe to test your mind, maybe to help you unravel problems, but essentially they try to complicate things. That's what he says. Contrasting that with communicators who take complex things or complicated things and make them simple. Now, if you join that to what Mr. Kahneman said, Daniel Kahneman, in his book Thinking Fast Things, who says, if you care about being thought credible and intelligent, don't use complex language where simpler language will do, right? So if you care about being thought credible and intelligent, don't use complex language when simpler language will do. So one of the ways I keep things simple in my presentations is I give a list, or I use acronyms, or I use alliteration. So everything must start with the same letter, just to make it easy for people to remember. Now, your smartness is not determined by how complicated you can make things. Genius is actually simplicity, because the clearer you're thinking, the simpler you will become. So make that an aim in your communication. Don't complicate simple things. Simplify complex things. That's Business Sense, brought to you by ADB, the People's Bank.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Meet Mr. Ansar. He prefers to receive money from his friends and loved ones through the Agricultural Development Bank's remittance services, and his reason is simple.
Oh, for me, my brother lives overseas and he often sends me money. I can access it at any ADB branch nationwide, and what he sends is exactly what I receive. No wahala.
Is that why you prefer ADB's remittance services?
Of course. Well, whether it is Western Union, MoneyGram, ZPay Instant Money, UnityLink, Real Money Transfer, or Transfast, receiving my money through ADB's remittance services is guaranteed. And with some of these services, you can receive the money directly into your ADB account. Do you know what the best part is?
Share with us.
I can receive it at any ADB branch or selected branches on Saturdays and holidays. So my brother, you see, if you go somewhere else and you don't receive payment on time, all I can say is Woko, yeah.
Visit any of ADB's 87 network branches nationwide, whether you are a customer or not, for the best in remittance services. ADB, truly a Greek and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
All right. It's been raining a lot these days, but the sunshine that men need is not in the weather, it's in your smile. That's what the song is saying. Your smile will be somebody's sunshine. And those of you who are old enough to remember, this used to be the sick tune of a show called Sports Fan. Oh yes, many years ago. Osibisa. News and Views next, brought to you by Total, offering you the specially formulated quartz engine oil with ART. Your engine performs better. Is protected against mechanical wear by up to 74%. Choose quartz from Total. Choose the engine oil that keeps your engine running efficiently and effectively. And it's also sponsored by Fidelity Bank. The Fidelity Ejwapara account is here to help business owners who want their businesses to grow, to enjoy convenient payment and cash collections such as GHQR, Mobile Money Collect, and Mobile Teller Cash Account. You get free insurance cover worth up to 48,000 CDs and free subscription to our e-banking platforms. The Ejwapara account is an interest-earning account. It's a current account available to both registered and sole proprietors trading in their personal names. Dial *776 *0# or visit fidelitybank.com.gf to sign up today. It's an interactive morning. What's on your mind? Well, for me, it's traffic. Oh, traffic around Flower Pot. You know the Flower Pot? You know, it's almost like bittersweet. The Flower Pot motor interchange over the motorway is going fast. You know, as against some other projects. So we have to be happy. But the problem is that from now till October, traffic in Kuti, because
from which end to which
everywhere. Whether you know, there are about 3. If you're coming from Spintex Road towards Action Chapel, you use the Flower Pot roundabout in front of the Bank of Ghana. There's a diversion. If you're coming from Action Chapel and the tunnel towards Spintex Road or towards Palace Mall, there's a diversion. If you're coming from Mahama, they call it Mahama Road. I don't know, Airport Hills. Areas, yeah. Charlie, everywhere traffic. It's like they call it indifference curves. They are everywhere dense.
Now the question then is, I mean, is there no other way of
No, you can stay home, work on your computer, get good internet, stay in the house. Or you can get helicopter.
But will one's employer understand that?
You will even have the internet to make you work. Let's assume you want to edit video in your house. Do you have the level of connection that can give you
good.
Because work is really communication.
Yes.
So if you can, like, why do you do Zoom meetings? Right? You can have a whole conference on Zoom because everybody is communicating. So if the internet will be good and affordable, you have a machine in the house. You can even put your feet in hot water and be working.
Oh, I think there should be a better way of diverting.
No, but we will take it like that because some people, their projects have stalled. like the Obeche Bilanti people, they are road. We don't know what's happening. So we prefer diversion in progress than to freedom in stagnation.
But the diversion, where does it take you?
If it basa, when you get to the before you get to the main interchange, there's on Mate Churu Road. You go and pass near Assemblies of God, Reverend Basis Church, some corner B. Then you appear also. Google Map can take you around and go and say the road you are looking for doesn't exist. Someday I went on Google and it took me back to my house. It's on Google, so that thing comes. So we just come to work, wake up early and just go. Yeah, but it's better than Sky because Sky, there are people, the road is spoiled. From what's the name? Pokwasi. Pokwasi towards Sapeman, Amasaman.
Yeah.
The road can, I want English, can burst your tire.
Yeah.
Because the road is not smooth.
Yeah.
Then there are potholes.
Yes.
And then there are cutlasses.
That's right.
It's a cutlass
on the road.
Exactly.
So when you pass, it will break. So just, and don't follow a foot articulator.
No.
They'll throw sand in your face, stones, basa. So when you stay in Pokwasi, don't work. Go to Sawam and farm. It's better. If I live in Pokwasi, I'll go and work in Sawam. It's better than coming to Accra. There's no point.
You're going to grow pineapple.
I'll go and work in the mango farm.
I'm going to sell it to Blue Sky.
I won't come to Accra. No. Just go to Sawam and go and work.
Just work.
Good morning, Mr. Guy.
Charlie, good morning, my brother. How are you this morning?
Charlie, as you can see, I'm in a good mood.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. If you're not in a good mood, you can't do it. Charlie, you can't cope with it.
At all.
Let's take you to the details of the newspapers this morning. The Ghanaian Times has a story on the Chief Justice. She's taking office.
Yes.
And she's been given the instrument of appointment.
I tell you.
And the story says New Chief Justice takes
Ever.
office.
Yes.
Bring honor
Yes.
to judiciary. The
You
president.
know you'll be my chief justice.
Yeah.
you do purposive interpretation.
Ah.
You're a big man.
It will be brutal.
Yeah.
Also, 37 military hospital ordered to release man's death report to the family. Yep. And then the Attorney General is on the front page. We are told that AG files additional witness statement in connection with the Saglemi housing project. And the Minister for Mines is back on the front page. Ghana gains first position in gold production.
All right. The Daily Graphic also has a take on the new Chief Justice's appointment. And the headline says, "We need morally upright judges."
Yes.
President declares.
Do you know the name of her husband?
Yeah.
Fokofi.
Yeah.
The filler was released yesterday.
Brutal.
So Fokofi.
They leaked it.
This is called Fokofi.
Hey, wait, chop for the bag there.
went.
Name.
Other stories. Information Minister comments graphic for digitizing archival material. And tourist arrivals surge. USA, India, Nigeria, China, top list. And on the back page of the Daily Graphic, one of the things we focused on yesterday, floods displaced 5,000 people in Volta region.
They should have put that on the front page.
Yes.
Anyway, let me take you to the Chronicle. ABSA staff Bernard breaks into customers' accounts.
Oh, stop it.
And allegedly steals 1.2 million Ghana cedis from, guess the people,
From who?
the late IGP,
Oh,
High Court Judge,
Charlie.
and others.
It's an Guale.
Onshia Mefine. Yes, that's
It's not serious. Guy.
Charlie. And then this video that has been making the rounds.
Charlie.
How Mimpa Sem Chiefs got Akufo-Addo, the president, furious. So he was not angry with the
Henry Quartey.
Henry Quartey.
He was telling Henry Quartey to go and put that chief.
No,
that's not. So we'll explain there's even a whole statement by the RCC because apparently some people were putting a spin to the video that the president was angry with Henry Quartey.
No.
So the president was flanked by Henry Quartey on his right and Abuja on the left.
That's right.
So apparently
The
when the national anthem was being played,
Chief Tashi.
but the chief explained that he was not well. And the program started late, so he was on medication, he could not stand.
Okay.
There was no way the president would have known. So he commanded Henry Quartey.
So the president was incandescent.
And Mr. Henry Quartey, he said, "What's Henry Quartey is a big man. He went to, and the whole thing was sorted. But people for mischief's sake, circulating the video.
Charlie. They're articulating minor motive
to articulate a major motive.
That's right. Anyway, some other stories on the front page this morning, including Baumia at Kaneshi Market.
Okay.
All right. Daily Guide says MPP grills aspirants July 3.
All right.
Tokono is new CJ.
All right.
ADB fulfills pledge to best farmer. And Ghanaians don't trust NDC. That's according to John Mahama. That's what the Daily Guide is saying. And Alan files nominations.
Okay, let me take you to the Daybreak newspaper. Mahama in court over 2024 eligibility. What's happening? I'll tell you more. Also, MPP vets presidential aspirants on July 3. I prefer death to LGBTQ in Ghana. Bagbin talking, the speaker. Hey, Charlie, that's the real matter. Charlie, no video. My colleagues are for Alan. This is Lambosie MP pledging support for Alan Cash.
Okay, if you go to the Anchor newspaper, it says Ghana reclaims top spot as #1 gold producer. Other stories, we dated years ago, but ex-Black Stars player speaks after US-based Ghanaian shot wife killed himself. Hey, jeez. Anyway, Midiama SC historic victory unites Takwa as vindictive politicking disappears for celebration. And Ho police refusing to invite boxing DCE weeks after victim lodged complaints.
The overseer says this morning, I'll work with NDC leadership to ensure 2024 victory. That's coming in from former President John Dramani Mahama. Still on the front page, don't repeat the mistakes of Enin Yeboah. Abuja is telling the new Chief Justice of the Republic. And the NDC youth organizer adopts a door-to-door campaign in Asin North. What? It's only NDC story. Okay, finally there's a story on plastics in water. A looming threat to energy transition. And Baumia is also making the front page here. Okay. Baumia's policy of replacing textbooks with laptops is ill-conceived.
We'll talk about that today. Some people think it is. Some people agree with him. We'll see how that goes.
2 business papers from me. One, the Business Analyst. Moody's upgrades Ghana's local currency ratings from CA to CAA3.
Okay.
Stable outlook maintained. IMF program others could help Ghana improve its credit rating. Other stories. BOG's efforts to dampen inflationary pressures now impacting on economy significantly. And an ex-deputy minority leader is asserting that Ghanaians are suffering because economic policies favor a few. And then the graphic business, finally from me, DDEP conundrum. Labour rejects new debt proposal to restructure $2.7 billion pension funds. Corporate governance and sustainability, there's a feature. And the role of leadership in shaping organizational risk culture. Plus global economic prospects, development.
What are you reading this morning? Is that the headlines of textbooks?
That's what
The
it's
role of what?
The role of leadership in shaping organizational risk culture. Anyway, finally, global economic prospects, development in sub-Saharan.
The news dancer.
So wait. But finally, from me, the Economy Times says this morning, job scarcity on the rise. Wow, people are searching for jobs they're not getting.
Yeah.
Also, we are told that BOG is expecting inflation to decline and return to target band in 2025. And finally, businesses have been overwhelmed with taxes or are being overwhelmed with taxes, and they are calling out government on this particular matter to help save jobs.
I have a lot of stories on citynewsroom.com. Chief Justice Tokonu is strict but not rude. This is Atachia. Other stories, Anthem Bruhaha. Akufo-Addo wasn't angry at Henry Quarte. RCC clarifies. Meanwhile, Mimpasem Chief apologizes to Akufo-Addo, as you read already. Flyover construction to cause traffic at Flower Pot roundabout from June to October.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Operation Halt 2 team seizes 5 excavators, destroys other equipment in Ashanti region. And then, Kwando, police arrest second suspect involved in firearm brandishing during football match. City Business News is leading with City Business Festival Forum on Building Resilient SMEs comes off today. Also, Fitch affirms credit ratings of some Nigerian banks operating in Ghana, while Moody also upgrades Ghana's local currency rating, as Nathan read. And then EcoBank records 40.3% revenue growth in 2022. This is EcoBank Ghana PLC. Okay. A few other stories for your perusal. Graphic Online is showing the alternative routes for Flower Pot roundabout. Okay. And then in Debugre and JJ Rawlings, a clash on the national anthem. This story is also on our website. It's an article written by Professor Kwesi Yanka. This is because of the national anthem issues. And then MPP has reviewed timelines for flag bearer aspirants and the whole timetable for MPP elections. The General Secretary has released new timelines and dates for this. Let's get into the details.
Okay. So where do we start from?
CJ.
Let's start from the CJ. Okay, Nathan will do that for us.
Okay. All right. So the front page of the Daily Graphic, and the president has sworn in Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Saki Tokonu as the 15th Chief Justice of the Supreme Court since the inception of the Fourth Republic. Laying out his expectations of the judiciary, President Akufo-Addo declared that, quote, "It is crucial that we have judges who are morally upright, with intellectual integrity, and with the thorough understanding of the law," end quote. After reading a long list of her rich profile at the well-attended investiture at the Jubilee House in Accra yesterday, the president described Justice Tokonu as having, quote, "the full grasp of the intricacies of judicial administration and therefore will be an effective leader of the judiciary, zealously defending its independence, constantly upholding its dignity, and makes a worthy successor to her predecessor," end quote. The president added that the choice of Justice Tokonu as the CJ was not a particularly difficult one to make in view of her level of qualification, years at the bench and bar, and personal attributes.
We also have Atachia commending the CJ and saying she's strict but not rude. He was speaking on a point of view, and he says he's confident that Justice Tokonu knows the law. More on this later on. I wanted Nathan to turn to the back of the graphic and just update us on the story we led with yesterday.
Yes, so the story says 5,000 people have been displaced by floods in the Volta region.
Yeah.
And it begins by giving an update that the Ketu South Municipal Director of NADMO, Togbi Alosode II, has revealed that his outfit had no immediate relief items to alleviate the plight of flood victims in the southern part of the Volta region. More than 5,000 people in over 100 communities in the Ketu South, Anglon, and Keta municipalities are now living in water-filled rooms and compounds
Serious.
after being displaced by floods caused by 3 weeks of persistent rain, with the last rain pouring intermittently for about 12 hours from last Friday to Saturday.
Yeah, that's a story we've been keeping an eye on. Let's continue with other stories.
Yeah, Bernard, let me take you to the
Ghanaian
story,
Times.
the Ghanaian Times. There's a story here about 37 military hospital being ordered to release man's death report to the family. Then again, we are told that the AG has filed additional witness statements in connection with the Saglemi housing project. Let me take that one first before I turn my attention to the 37 military hospital story. So Malik Suleiman says on page 3 of the Ghanaian Times this morning that the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice yesterday filed additional witness statements in the ongoing trial of Alhaji Collins Dauda and Dr. Kweku Ajiman Mensah, both former ministers of Water Resources, Works and Housing, for causing $200 million worth of financial loss to the state in the Saglemi housing project. Now, the case has been adjourned to June 26 of this year. Now, the accused and 3 others have pleaded not guilty to 70 charges leveled against them by the state and are currently on bail. It provides additional information on the specifics of the allegations against them. But let me take you now to 37, because we're told that the High Court, Accra, has ordered the Chief of Defense Staff and the 37 military hospital to release the report on investigation conducted on the death of Solomon Asare Kuma, a 48-year-old man, to his family. Now, the court, presided over by Justice Charles Eko Baden, Justice of the Court of Appeal, sitting as an additional High Court judge, said the report should be made available within 10 days. Now, the family of Solomon Asare Kuma had sued the hospital together with Colonel Dr. G.A.O. Apia, a director at the health facility, the CDS and the Attorney General, demanding 2 million Ghana cedis in damages for medical negligence leading to the death of Asare Kuma. Now, the bereaved family contended that the death of Asare Kuma at the hospital in October 2019 was due to breach of contract and negligence by the hospital and the doctor, Colonel Dr. Apia, who took care of him. Now, the family petitioned the CDS for an inquiry into the circumstances leading to the death of Asare Kuma, but after the investigation, the report was not given to the family. You know, a lot of times people are medical...
They feel aggrieved
that's right.
by treatment and they don't follow up.
So this is a major development.
All right. There's also a major development in Galamsey fight. In the former reporting on City Newsroom that Operation Hall 2 seizes 5 excavators, destroys other equipment in Ashanti region. The Operation Hall team has seized 5 excavators and destroyed other mining equipment in the region. This is the Bosomtwi Range Forest Reserve. Can you imagine? Illegal mining activities, popularly known as Galamsey, have been taking place in almost all mining areas in the Ashanti region. The practice appears to have gotten worse, so the military has intensified efforts to clamp down on such activities in the region. The Ghana Armed Forces deployed soldiers of all ranks to begin the second phase of Operation Hall to rid the country's water bodies of illegal miners. The goal is to remove all logistics and personnel involved in illegal mining on water bodies. In a 4-day operation, the team has vowed to continue carrying out such exercises to prevent unscrupulous individuals from engaging in the practice. Speaking to the media, the Deputy Commander of Operations of his Central Command, Lieutenant Colonel Louis Boachi, appealed to stakeholders to play their respective roles. People are letting the guard down.
Charlie.
It says they should play their respective roles to help address the issue. Well, we in the media will play our role. I hope the DCs and the MCs and the regional ministers also support.
And ordinary citizens.
Yeah, so that we get this thing to... Meanwhile, Anti-Galamsey Group is also unhappy with lack of prosecution of Akonta mining directors. This statement was sent last week.
Yes.
Okay, to some politics. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I thought I should just
give us
the story on the ABSA Bank. The story on page 3 of the Chronicle, actually the lead story, is by Ben Isbese, and it says that just 16 months after being employed as a contract staff at ABSA Bank.
Fully employed.
Can you imagine?
People are looking for work.
Charlie, the Usu branch. 25-year-old Emmanuel Sechi was able to break into customers' accounts to allegedly steal a whopping 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Now, the customers include the late Enesako, a former Inspector General of Police, from September 30, 1974 to July 17, 1978, and late Justice Anthony Kofi Adada, a retired High Court judge. Now, the rest are William Joe Frimpong, Reverend Theodore Baba Hackman, Esther Miriam Hackman, Ekua Eure.
We don't have those.
Yeah,
so what
okay.
did he do? We don't need those names.
Okay, basically what it is that, apparently he acted, alone, and is facing additional charges of forgery and other documents and falsification of accounts, bringing the total number of charges leveled against him to 13. And, he's on a 200,000 Ghana cedi bail because of what he has allegedly done. And the court, presided over by her Anna Ellen Ofe Aye, on Friday, ordered that the sureties deposit their Ghana card with the register of the court, while the accused persons on bail also report twice a week to the police till whatever.
Okay, it's okay. Let's deal with some economy stories.
Apparently, let me just mention that he actually even transferred the funds to 17 people, including the girlfriend of the second accused, and Cecil Nyamesem Ejakwa.
All right.
Okay. So there were some other people involved in that.
All right. The graphic business had a story about the debt exchange and the refusal of organized labor to accept the terms.
Yes, it's on the front page. Now, organized labor says it is opposed to new attempts to restructure pension funds worth about 2.7 billion US dollars. The government has sent new terms in its second round of the DDEP to pension fund managers, which analysts say is an indication that the threshold of debt to GDP is yet to be achieved. However, labor unions are adamant, saying they will stand by their earlier decision to the government to exempt pension funds from the DDEP. In a new proposal, the government is seeking to restructure local currency bonds held by pension funds as part of efforts to bring the country's debt to sustainable levels.
Wonderful story there.
Okay, Bernard, let's return to politics and the law, because there's an interesting writ that apparently has been filed by Ken Kranchi regarding the eligibility of John Dramani Mahama. I don't know. The story is on page 3, and it says Mahama in court over 2024 eligibility. The Daybreak newspaper says this morning that in the next few weeks and months, former President John Dramani Mahama will be appearing in Ghana Supreme Court to make a case why he is eligible to contest for the position of President of Ghana again. Now, a writ was issued in the registry of the Supreme Court of Ghana yesterday, seeking a declaration that the former presidents of Ghana are not qualified or eligible to contest elections in Ghana. Now, the writ, which seeks 13 reliefs, also wants the Supreme Court to order former President Mahama to seek parliamentary approval for his latest adventures and incursions on the presidency, or in the alternative, that the Supreme Court order him to desist from his presidential ambitions. Now, the plaintiff in the action is Kenneth Ejay Kuranchi, an Accra-based journalist who has long posited that Mr. Mahama is not eligible to contest the election. Meanwhile, there is a story also on the front page of the Overseer that says the former president is saying that he will work with the NDC leadership to ensure victory in 2020.
All right. Stay with the economy. Moody's has upgraded Ghana's local currency outlook.
That's on the front page of the Business Analyst. Now, it says the IMF program, coupled with a strict fiscal discipline, could help Ghana to improve its credit ratings. And this follows the upgrade of the government of Ghana's local currency long-term issuer rating to CAA3 from CA by Moody's. It also maintained the country's stable
outlook.
Wonderful.
I'm staying with the economy because there are two stories in the Economy Times.
Yep. We're told that jobs are scarce to come by, and some people get the jobs and are allegedly doing all kinds of things with the positions they get. And if you go to the Economy Times, we're told that job scarcity on the rise. The Seoul reporting says the availability of jobs in the country advertised in selected print and online media with partially gauge labor demand in the economy have dropped marginally in April 2023 relative to what was observed in the same period of 2022. Now, in total, 2,581 job adverts were recorded as compared to 2,777 jobs for the same period in 2022, indicating a year-on-year decline of 7.1%. Mind you, situations are hard in this country.
Meanwhile,
we're told that businesses are overwhelmed with taxes.
It's true.
Adnan Mohammed, reporting for the Economy Times, says that some business owners in the country have since been on government to reconsider numerous taxes they pay right from source of their raw materials through import duties to production, packaging and selling their finished goods. Now, the business captains claim government is deliberately targeting them as the soft spot for its revenue mobilization because they are formalized. Now, business owners have intensified their calls on government to either review or scrap some of these taxes. Well, Parliament is back in session. We hope that...
I'm going to give you two related stories because this morning at 9 o'clock on the City Business Festival, we'll be talking about navigating the tax maze as an SME. My guest is Ismail Ibn Ibrahim from Ali Nacha and Associates. They will help SMEs understand how to work around these tax issues. Then there's a panel discussing how to build strong SMEs with Director of Agency Banking of APSA, Audrey Abaka, Lecturer at UPSA, Dr. Andrew Sayiku, Director of Ghana Climate Innovation Center, Ruka Sanusi, and CEO of Busara Africa, Takawori, all on the panel, moderated by Vivian Kailoko on CTTV at 11 a.m.
They are talking about taxes.
They are talking about building resilient companies, SMEs. The tax one is the discussion I'll have this morning. So those are other stories making the rounds. In international news, Italy's former president or prime minister, former chairman of AC Milan, Silvio Berlusconi, died aged 86. Yeah, so that was the story we got yesterday. And then Reuters is analyzing the Espionage Act and what it might mean for Donald Trump. So that's a big story in the U.S.
But why are they not charging Mike Pence? Why are they not charging?
Go and charge him.
Why are they not charging Biden?
You're a lawyer.
No, I don't have jurisdiction to practice that.
So I will help you.
They should stop that. Discrimination is bad.
And other stories as well. Alan files his nominations yesterday. It's on the front page of the Daily Guide.
And MPP will start grilling aspirants on July 3.
Because they have a new calendar. Thank you, Richard Sky. Thank you, Nathan.
But the US people, they should stop that. The discrimination is bad.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa!
Bobo, so how your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry, Chairman Mane. Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
You've started your small business and have all these big dreams, but then reality strikes and there are so many things to do at once. What you need is the Ejapa account from Fidelity Bank. The Ejapa account gives your business a boost. It comes with a range of payment and cash collection options, such as GHQR, mobile money collection, and mobile teller cash collection. You will also enjoy prompt FX supply, competitive interest rate on loans, and free annual insurance cover of up to 48,000 Ghana cedis for your business, plus a waiver on service fees. It's time to do good business with Fidelity Bank.
Dial *776*0# or visit www.fidelitybank.com.gh to sign up for a Fidelity Ejapa account today, because together we are more. Terms and conditions apply.
Fidelity Bank, believe with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
City Business News brought to you by MTN. There's good news for SMEs and SME owners. With SME Plus, you can manage all your communications, costs, or your operational costing communication. A service allows you to choose from affordable packages and enjoy talk time, SMS, data, and business content all bundled into one subscription. The exciting news is that you get free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Simply dial star 5060 hash to sign up or call 0244308111 to get more information to stay connected. News also brought to you by Goyle, introducing the Super XP Run 95 and the Diesel XP, best quality fuels with high performance in town for your vehicle. The Run 95 XP is high-grade fuel sold at the same price as normal fuel. The Diesel XP is low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. We have over 440 stations across Ghana. Goyle Good Energy. Nilate Latte is joining us. Citi Business News at 7. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Hello to you out there. Welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goyle and powered by our most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. Coming up, IMF urged to keenly keep an eye on government implementation of fund program as visiting staff mission engagement with interest groups continue. Also, government's treasury bill target of 2.63 billion Ghana cedis oversubscribed by 6.4% despite rising borrowing costs. Details shortly. I am Ni Lati. Many thanks indeed for joining us. The visiting mission staff from the International Monetary Fund is making progress with its recent visit to Ghana after the approval of the $3 billion bailout assistance granted to Ghana. The mission staff has been in the country since last week and has been engaging stakeholders to gain their support for Ghana's economic recovery and attainment of the program objectives. The team is monitoring Ghana's progress in implementing the agreement ahead of the program review later in June. Citi Business News is learning that negotiations between the Finance Minister, the Bank of Ghana, and other relevant interest groups are ongoing, with an update on engagement likely in the coming days. The team is expected to return to Washington, D.C. by end of this week. Meanwhile, the fund is being urged to carefully monitor key state institutions such as the Bank of Ghana and the Finance Ministry to ensure that the government is strictly adhering to all fiscal policies. The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, which is pushing for this call, maintains this will help Ghana achieve economic rebound. Samson Asaki Awingobit is Executive Secretary of the association.
If the government fiscal policies and reckless expenditure, knowing very well that we had a 5% fiscal cap at the Bank of Ghana, they spend more than the 5%. Now, IMF has now brought police to us. I'm told there's an attaché to be at the Bank of Ghana to make sure that that fiscal policy is respected. And I'm quite sure by now at the Minister of Finance they would have brought somebody. And I'm quite sure they would have brought somebody to Controller and Accountant General. If the IMF hasn't brought anybody, please, IMF, bring somebody to Controller and Accountant General because he's the one also paying, the paymaster. You must send a rep to Finance Ministry, send a rep to Controller and Accountant General. The IMF will send an officer to Jubilee House. Because at the Jubilee House, the decisions and whatever they are taking there, that has brought us to where we are today. I'm told at the presidency alone, over 1,000 or so are staffers. How?
Samson Asaki Awingobit is the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Still on the economy, and rating agency Moody's has upgraded the CD long-term issuer rating from CA to CAA3 and maintained the stable outlook. Additionally, Moody's has upgraded the local currency senior unsecured MTN program rating from CA to CAA3. This upgrade comes as a result of the completion of the government primary local currency debt restructuring, which has reduced the expected losses on local currency debt in the future. The debt exchange has provided Ghana with some fiscal relief, reducing the likelihood of seeking another debt restructuring of a similar scale from the same creditors in the near to medium term. Onto the Treasury bills markets now, and the government Treasury bills target of 2.63 billion Ghana cedis saw an oversubscription of about 6.4%, indicating strong investor demand. However, this increase in demand comes with a growing concern over the rising cost of borrowing. There is more in the following Business News Desk report.
The oversubscription comes at a time when the central bank's figures reveal that interest rates have been consistently rising for the past 8 weeks, raising questions about the government's debt management strategy aimed at reducing Ghana's overall debt. Since the beginning of 2023, the government has heavily relied on borrowing from the money market, which has resulted in higher borrowing costs. This market has become the sole source for borrowing for the government, further contributing to the increased costs. The rise in interest rates are expected to lead to a higher domestic interest payment for the government, posing challenges to its financial management. According to the Bank of Ghana's data, the yield on the 91-day Treasury bill rose by 0.11% to reach 21.26%. The yield on the 182-day bill also experienced a slight increase to 23.95% from the previous weeks of 23.93%. The one-year bill had a higher rate of 27.82%. Despite the concerns over rising costs, the government managed to raise about 2.80 billion cedis from the sale of the short-term instrument. The 91-day bill received tenders of a little above 1.50 billion Ghana cedis, and all of them were accepted.
That was a news desk report read by my colleague Emmanuel Opon. Away from that, and despite recent global trade concerns, the Takoradi port has recorded an increase in gross cargo export and import of 5.1 million metric tons between 2014 and 2022. This was announced by the outgone director of the Takoradi Harbour, Captain Ebenezer Afeji. He disclosed that the increase in traffic is attributed to the port performance in major expansion works and the commitment of staff in the last decade.
When I took over in 2015, we had a key length, that is where the ships berth, a total length of 875 meters, with a depth of 10 meters, the maximum depth being 10 meters. As I hand over, we have a total key length of 2,575 meters, about 3 times what I took over. Meanwhile, we have another 550 meters in the way. That's we work on the oil and gas terminal to add 550 meters. The depth now, instead of 10 meters as the maximum, we have a depth of 16 meters, meaning we can compete with any port along the coast of Africa. When I took over, the cargo throughput for the year 2014 was 2.2 million metric tons. Today, all the problems, COVID problems, and Ukraine, Russia problems, we were able to do 7.345 million metric tons.
Captain Ebenezer Afeji is the outgone director of the Takoradi Harbour. Now, Deputy Managing Partner at Ali Nacha and Associate Ismail Ibrahim has questioned the rationale behind the government's introduction of the 3 new taxes introduced earlier this year. He explains that while government responses to revenue shortfalls may be ways of mobilizing domestic revenue, they have significant impacts on businesses, particularly at a time when other related operational costs such as electricity and water have also been increased. Government in May began the implementation of the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, Growth and Sustainability Levy Bill, and Income Tax Amendment Bill as part of efforts to meet the criteria for the $3 billion bailout from the IMF. He made these remarks on the on-air series of the 2023 Citi Business Festival, which continues this morning.
So with the excise tax, this is basically increasing what those manufacturers and distributors or whatever you have to pay. And it would mean that passing more on to the consumer. For the income tax, there were several amendments, especially the minimum chargeable income, which means that if you have declared losses for a period of 5 years, they are going to impose a minimum chargeable income. I have my reservations about these things. I have not seen a policy on why these principles are being introduced, because we are getting to the point where we might cross the accounting principles, disregard them just because we are desperate for money, and a lot of people will suffer. There are other things which are a bit technical in terms of when you sell your assets, you are supposed to withhold. That's one of the amendments in it. But there is also a provision in the law that says that if you sell an asset and you replace it within a year, it's a retention of asset, and so you are not supposed to pay any taxes. How do you balance this withholding you are asking for? Now you are talking about minimum chargeable income. If I am making losses, you ask me to carry forward my losses for 5 years. It means if I carry forward my losses for these 5 years and I still make losses, you are still going to tax me on what you call the minimum chargeable income. And so when you sit down and look at some of these things, you realize that, I don't know, but maybe government is really desperate for money and he has to do what he has to do.
Ismail Ibrahim is a deputy managing partner at Ali Nachia and Associates. The full conversation on the topic, navigating the tax maze as an SME, is later this morning at 9 a.m. on the Citi Breakfast Show. Meanwhile, the second forum of the Citi Business Festival 2023 will be held later today on the topic, Building Resilient SMEs. The panel will include the Director of SME Agency Banking and Partnerships at APSA, Audrey Abakan, lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Dr. Andrew Sayuko, Executive Director of the Ghana Climate Innovation Center, Ruka Sanusi, and CEO of Busara Africa, Taka Awori. And why not join us live on Citi TV at 11 a.m. for that 1 hour, 30 minutes in-depth conversation on how to build successful and resilient SMEs, even in difficult economic times. This year's edition of the Citi Business Festival is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM in partnership with APSA and is proudly sponsored by MTN Momo, MTN Business, and ZP with support from GESAL. Let's find out how the cedi is performing this morning. And on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade among themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 10 cedis 98 pesos. The British pound lost 9 pesos and is selling at 13 cedis 72 pesos. The euro remained unchanged and is selling at 11 cedis 80 pesos. However, at some forex bureaus in the capital, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis 75 pesos, while the British pound is selling at 14 cedis 55 pesos, and the euro is going for 12 cedis 50 pesos. Let's now join Mark Jordan Sikanati of Data Bank for the latest updates on the bonds market.
Investors showed firm demand for T-bills at last Friday's auction as the Treasury raised 2.8 billion Ghana cedis to exceed the gross target by 6.5%. Yields on the 91-day and the 182-day bills advanced to 21.27% and 23.95% respectively. The 364-day yield lost 20 basis points to 27.82%. Market activity improved on the local secondary bond market last week as investors exchanged 97.3 million Ghana cedis above the previous week by 23.6%. The Data Bank Bond Index retreated to 81.9 points with an average yield to maturity of 12.98%.
That was Mark Jordan Sikanati of Data Bank with the latest updates on the bonds market. And that does it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil and powered by our most comprehensive business news website, citibusinessnews.com. My name is Ni Lati. Have a good business day.
Want to feel energized for more? Fuel up with Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goil. Our high grade fuel comes at no extra cost, but with more power. And our Diesel XP, it's low in sulfur, making it an eco-friendly option for your vehicle. Experience high performance and quality with our products. Available everywhere. Choose Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Good energy.
Doing gets you learning. Learning starts you wondering. Wondering triggers thinking. Thinking becomes planning. Planning evolves to trying. After trying, you're succeeding, winning, owning. Now, doing that starts with outdoing your limits. Outdo them all with MTN. So, what are we doing today?
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Oh, na, 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 King promise, yeah.
Q beats, let's go.
Oh, na na na, yeah. Me say I do me a shrum, yeah. know we say I be better past anybody. And so it's sure. And your boy, no.
14 minutes past 7. Kickoff is coming up next, brought to you by Lesheho. For over 10 years, we have been there for customers who want attractive investments as well as security. So it's a fair balance between competitive returns and security. We have the 91-day, 182-day, and 365-day flexible deposit product. It's got a fixed deposit account as well. Call 0577 707 700. Let's achieve your financial goals together. Our name is Lesheho. Let's improve life. We're also sponsored by Shell. Everybody's looking for that one thing that pushes them to bring out their best and enable them to reach peak performance. Your car wants this too. That's why your best bet is to give it Shell Helix engine oil. Specially designed to bring out the best in your engine, protecting it from wear and tear while providing the power and performance needed to give you the best ride every time. Visit your local Shell station today and experience the difference for yourself. Time for the sport. Time for Evans Ofochu Manso, aka Pichichi. Yeah, you're a big man.
You're a big man.
They say Mbappe say what?
Well, Mbappe says that he wants to, he will not extend his contract at PSG until 2025.
They have to decide what they want to do.
So he has 1 year now. So
either they sell him or he goes for free.
Exactly. And for PSG, what they don't want to do is sell him to Real Madrid.
Oh, then they should give him to Liverpool.
Yeah, they want Mbappe to.
We'll sell half of our team and buy him.
Liverpool, you want everyone new.
We need Mbappe. We need Mbappe in our life.
Well, many thanks for choosing Citi 97.3 FM. And coming up on Kickoff this morning with me, Evans Ofochuman, so Media Mass Sporting Club, to present the Ghana Premier League trophy to traditional leaders of Takwa and sponsors today. Plus, it was party time on the streets of Manchester yesterday. Manchester City embarked on a trophy tour to celebrate their treble-winning season amid rain and blue flares. And in the NBA,
looking, finds Struce back to Lowry. There it is, three-pointer. Won't go. Rebound, Caldwell Pope. They're not going to foul. The Heat will let it play out. It's over. At last, the long wait is over. After 47 years, the Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Yes, the Denver Nuggets outclassed the Miami Heat in an ugly, frantic Game 5 to secure their first NBA title. All this and more on Kickoff with me, Evans Ofochumanso. All right, today in our first story, the Black Stars are expected to hold their second training session at Accra Sports Stadium today ahead of Sunday's penultimate AFCON qualifier against Madagascar in Antananarivo. Arsenal's Thomas Partey, who missed yesterday's light training, has joined the squad. So it's now a full house for Chris Hughton's team, who are a win away from qualifying for the continental competition in Ivory Coast next year. So the Black Stars will leave Ghana on Friday for Madagascar and play that game on Sunday. Now, staying with national teams, the Black Meteors Management Committee Chairman Frederick Echampon has revealed that the team is relishing the test of facing defending champions Egypt before the Under-23 AFCON commences in Morocco. Well, the team are currently in Egypt and will take on the Egyptians in a pre-tournament friendly on June 15, and they're expected to play another friendly game on June 19, after which they leave Cairo for Morocco. And in an exclusive interview with City Sports, Frederick Echampon shed more light on their decision to camp in Egypt.
Well, first of all, we plan to do this campaign in a different country. But we look around and we're not getting team because it's around this time, almost all the leagues are on break now. And then we scanned around and we saw that most of the teams participating in the U20 AFCON are not also camping in that particular country wanted to camp in. So we then had to, trigger plan B was for us to camp in Egypt. At least the defending champions and also participating members in Egypt are there, and so quickly then try to engage them in a friendly, and then they agreed. And so we played that match, I think, on the 15th of June. I mean, you cannot play anything better than the defending champions and also who has also qualified to participate in the tournament as well. After that, we look to play another friendly match before we would leave Egypt to Morocco.
All right, so that's Frederick Champon. Yes, Frederick Champon is the Black Meteors Management Committee chairman speaking to Citi Sports before they left for Egypt yesterday. Now, let's head to Takwa in the Western region. And Ghana Premier League champions Mediama Sporting Club will embark on a float today and meet up with key personalities, traditional leaders, stakeholders, and sponsors. And these are all part of activities to celebrate the club's first league title. Patrick Akoto is a communications director for Mediama.
It's a whole week of activities. On Tuesday, we will present the trophy to the Apin Tohine Nana Kwabena Ango II and his chief. From there, we will go to our sponsors and all the top brass who have helped us to clinch and make history here in Takwa. So it's the whole week pack of activities. We'll wrap it up next Sunday. And so, my brother, you have no idea. It's a joyous moment for the people of Takwa.
So you heard Patrick Akoto. He speaks for Mediama Sporting Club, confirming plans to meet the Apintohene and other stakeholders today as they mark celebration of the Ghana Premier League trophy. They are champions for the first time. Now, speaking of champions, the Kings of Europe, Manchester City, they celebrated their treble with an open-top bus parade through the city centre and thousands of fans watching on in the rain, and there were blue flares set as well, and fans threw inflatable bananas in the air as several of the players were shirtless in the heavy rain. And the start of the parade was delayed due to the adverse weather conditions and localized lightning storms. And let's hear from the man who guided the team to the treble, the second club in England to do that, Pep Guardiola, speaking at the parade.
What a parade, what an afternoon. So we had to be the best parade with this rain. Otherwise it's not Manchester. This is Manchester, this is how it rolls. Has to be like that. No sunshine, no, we don't want sunshine. We want rain. So the perfect one.
Pep, hundreds of thousands of Blues stayed, they sang, they didn't care about the rain. All they wanted was to see you and your players and your staff. We have the best fans in the world, right?
But they are used to. So they are used to the rain. Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, it's their moment to Manchester City enjoying what has been an incredible season where they won the UEFA Champions League, the Premier League, and also the FA Cup there. So despite the rain, they didn't stay in their houses. They came out in their numbers, thousands of fans, blue flares and all that, and lots to drink as well. Now, away from City and their celebrations, let's talk about the transfer markets and transfer stories. Well, Kylian Mbappe, listen to this, has written to Paris Saint-Germain to tell them he will not extend his contract by 1 year to 2025. We know Mbappe's deal runs until the end of the 2023-24 season, and with PSG unwilling to let the 24-year-old leave for nothing, he could be sold this summer. So interesting there. And he had Bernard Avle there saying that Liverpool would love to have Mbappe in the squad there. Now, Aaron Ramsey insists he's focused on Wales Euro 2024 ambitions amidst uncertainty over his future at Nice. Well, Ramsey triggered a 1-year contract extension at Nice after playing more than 30 games for the Ligue 1 club this season, and it's reported that the 32-year-old wants a longer deal to stay at Nice, and that may not be forthcoming.
The most important thing for me to do right now is just to focus on these games, and then we'll find out, in a few weeks' time when everything's settled down a bit. This season has been a success for me personally. Played a lot of games, played some good football. The most challenging thing is being away from my family. So, that's the situation that I.
So that's Aaron Ramsey. He plays for Nice in the French Ligue 1 there. Now, 4 clubs in Saudi Arabia are making a big push for Chelsea striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. The clubs include Al Ittihad, Al Hilal, Al Nassr, and also Al Ahly. And they could face opposition from a number of European clubs, including Barcelona. Tottenham are also interested in signing goalkeeper David Raya and expected to approach Brentford to discuss a fee. Brentford want a deal worth £40 million for their goalkeeper. Now, away from football, let's do some NBA now. And the Denver Nuggets outclassed the Miami Heat by 94-89 in an ugly, frantic Game 5 to clinch their first NBA title. Nikola Jokic shall build out his teammate with 28 points and 16 rebounds on a night when nothing else seems to work. And the Serbian international won the NBA Finals MVP, an award that certainly he has more meaning to him than the 2 overall MVPs he won in 2021 and 2022. Let's hear from Nikola Jokic now.
I mean, that's why basketball is a fun sport, you know. That's why it's a live thing. You cannot say, oh, this is going to happen. It's always, there is so many factors, and I'm just happy that we won again.
Now you are an NBA champion, Nikola. How does that feel?
It's good. It's good. The job is done. We can go home now.
Right, we still have more time to chip in. Last one there from the NBA. Let's talk about swimming next. And President of the Ghana Swimming Association, Delphine Akwe, has promised to assemble a strong team for Ghana for the Africa Games. Now, she made this remark at the 2023 National Open Swimming Championship at the University of Ghana, where a total of 144 swimmers aged between the age of 8 and 19, representing 8 swimming clubs across the country, participated.
And lots of them have really impressed us. I mean, most of them have just reduced their time, and they are so eager to please us. They want the selection to be part of the African Games. So they are really pushing themselves to make sure that they are selected for the African Games. They are doing so well. You see, as we are doing this, is to select our swimmers, but we need to camp them and really train them, because swimming is about the more you train, the more you are able to push your time down and then to make better times or be a medal hopeful. So as we are doing this, we are going to select our national swimmers, those who represent us in the African Games, and then we are going to give them special training to prepare them well for next year.
All right, Delphine Akwe is president of the Ghana Swimming Association, and then kick off this morning on Citi 97.3 FM. Be a small sports on citisportsonline.com. Follow us also on social media at Citi Sports GHA and at Pichichi GH as well on Twitter. Hasta la próxima from me, Evans Ofochumanso.
The king is here. Atrenkwa ye treno ansana yakoko. You keep the wheels turning. For your sake, roads spread like red carpets before us. You're the legend of whom many great stories are told. The custodian of our beloved engines, lubricants Munkoswahine, Shell Helix. 99 problems everywhere, but car performance isn't one. Because for ages, Nkoswahine Shell Helix has been keeping our engines in good shape. Come rain, come shine, we'll keep moving forward because Nkoswahine is with us. Presenting Shell Helix. Experience power, performance, and protection with Shell Helix engine oil and keep your car going. Shell Helix. Designed for ultimate engine performance.
Let's go. If you need unique services, innovative financial solutions, we deliver on our promise, cause we are number one. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Even when you're stuck with nothing, come to Let's go. No matter your situation, come to Let's go. Let's go, we improve your life. Let's go, hey. Let's go, hey. Let's go, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama. Let's go, we improve your life.
Leshego Savings and Loans. Let's improve life.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
My name is Nana Brown,
Many people think I get what I want anytime because I am popular. No, that is not true. It is because me and Kasano, I like the best, and when I find it, I stick to it. I have found Bell Pack Tea Roll, and I'm stuck with it. It is soft but not weak, strong but not hard. It is just perfect. Bell Pack Tea Roll is smooth and gentle on the skin. Same as Bell Pack Kitchen Towel. It cleans in one wipe. You can soak, squeeze, and clean again. One Bell Pack Kitchen Towel lasts longer and saves you money. It's time you switch to Bell Pack today and experience the perfect paper tissue. Say pocket tissue, table napkins, tea roll, and a kitchen towel. Paper chow. Bell Pack is simply the best. Bell Pack, just perfect.
To be a Bell Pack distributor, call 055-11-44400. Another quality product from Bell Aqua.
Nothing feels so good like Bell Pack.
If you're a whiz kid that collects straight A's in your sleep, a brainy brains that aces quizzes without even trying, or a clever clogs that knows just about everything, then there's one more battle you have to win. The Literacy Challenge. The nationwide search for the best junior high student is on. Think it could be you going home with 10,000 Ghana cedis and a glitzy trophy? Then, in not less than 600 words, write a story that ends with the following statement. The happiest people do not have the best of everything, they make the best of everything they have. Stories should be written in your own handwriting with the deadline of Saturday, the 15th of July 2023 in mind. Submissions must include an endorsement by a parent or guardian and their full contact details. And once you're done, shoot off your entries to the front desk of City TV or City FM. Or you can send entries to PO Box GP 14123 Accra Central. For more inquiries, call 0558 973 973. The Literacy Challenge 2023 is powered by Citi TV, supported by City FM, and is sponsored by the Ghana National Gas Company and Ribby Crunchy Biscuits by M4 Foods.
Passengers, Mama me 2 minutes per why? Neighbor Cecilia.
Driver, you can't do this in London.
Oh, English, madam. We dear Mr. 1 minute per why? Shell,
Driver, we're in a hurry, please. What's all this about?
Oh, madam. Help me say thank you to Shell. Shell Fuel Save lasts longer and helps us to save more money to do more things. Also, because I'm a member of the Shell Club, I get loyalty points every time I buy fuels that I use to redeem gifts I love. I can get third-party insurance for my car, free medical insurance, provisions for my home, and many more. Shell day my side. In fact, when I see another Shell station, I will hug everyone there.
Hey, driver, what do you fire Kwanzaa?
Hey, English, madam.
Enjoy numerous benefits when you buy fuel from Shell. Get loyalty points to claim third-party car insurance, family medical cover, provisions, and many more for free. Driver, Shell day your side. Go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Dance for me, baby, just jubilate for me. Make me the populate, just cooperate for me. See this loving way I got for you. I never fit to show you fake, oh baby, yours for real. Avawum, no, Avawum, yeah, chilo. Baby, when I tell you, say I love you, believe me. Avawum, no, Avawum, yeah, chilo. Baby, when I tell you, say I love you, believe me. My baby, since you came into my life, you make it blessings just.
Traders are attributing the failure to issue VAT invoices to low sales brought on by excessive taxation. The GRA's ongoing revenue mobilization exercise has seen a number of businesses cited for alleged tax infractions. Some of these operators have been expressing what their challenges are with CNR Business.
The Ghana Revenue Authority has for the past couple of weeks been embarking on an exercise to enforce tax compliance among businesses. The exercise has seen a number of business owners being picked up over various tax infractions. Today, we are here at the Central Business District of Accra to get the reaction of traders about this whole exercise.
Actually, this time they are not buying. Business is slow. Things are not going as previous is going. This time, when we come, we don't sell. People are not coming.
The same time, they say taxes and necron bania in a hair ready for. So, Tiamano, as in you may be or share night ready for, or you may be found said a bay ready for who to beat my house. See a buy and drawing, dear, then yet in your being yet make your taxes in the amount.
The concerns of the market traders have been corroborated by its mother body. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is pushing for reforms in the issuance of VAT invoices. Dr. Joseph Obin is president of GUTA.
People who are selling that are not compliant, or the people who are buying that have to demand.
Caesar. Works with Citi. Yeah. Read the news yesterday. Yeah. Also,
she's a Liverpool fan too.
Yeah. Yes. Also, we've seen Papa Yao Ochre Eifa of Gold Key Properties. Happy birthday. Wishing you the best of the years ahead. Enjoy your day to the fullest and stay blessed from all your loved ones. And to my son, Leslie Fifi Oku, a happy birthday from your father, Leslie Oku. You are a blessing to the family. Fifi.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I could be wrong, but girl, with you I belong.
And I'd like to say happy birthday to my older brother, Nana Kofi Esihine. He's a great guy, man of different sides, different parts. One-time music video director, now does more ads. Now he's into fashion. Nana, happy birthday to you. I wish you the very, 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 very. Yeah. He has his hair in a lot. So, yeah, creative genius.
You do that and bring it to my house. you cook your own food.
Nana Charlie, happy birthday to you. I wish you the very, very, very.
Why did they do that?
That's clearly you won't do that in your parents. Like when you get older, then you can do,
put some ring before the ears and the nose. Kweku David is associating himself.
Yes,
with
they are paddies. They are paddies.
Oh, they are Mayman.
Himself, Kweku, lots of the guys in the space, Robert Clark, they are all paddies.
Okay, wow, that's good. All right, now I need to tell you a few things. So this morning we're going back into business. Now the reason I want to discuss the topics I'm discussing is Charlie Sky. Things make some way.
I know.
Bro. The fact that something is not being reported on every day
consistently
does not make it any less true. Yesterday I was reading from a book and I realized that sometimes we mistake frequency for importance. So if every day you think about something, you think it occurs every day, but it doesn't. Or if every time the news talks about something, you think it's occurring all the time. But I want to tell you that the issue of job scarcity and the issue of taxes and companies, it's not a very sexy topic. So you see it on front pages every day. But I'm telling you, it's a bigger story than most of the stories we write about. I'm telling you the truth. So I'll spend some time discussing.
Exactly.
People are not getting work. And the people who are employing people the taxes are making it difficult for them to survive. So I don't know how the system expects people to keep working. I really don't know. And I really want to commend the Economy Times for their 2 front page stories today. I think the 2 front page stories captured the essence of what is happening in the country very strongly. A lot of us miss out. Of course, we have to report different things, right? So they're talking about roads, we're talking about Ghana has become #1 exporter of gold. Galamsey is happening. CJ has been sworn in. All these things. But I'm telling you that
flooding in Aflao,
very important. But I'm telling you that the biggest story in the past 2 years is lack of work. And companies are really struggling. The taxes are too many. And the GRA is now going out every day, VAT, arresting people. Charlie, people are closing down their businesses. Plenty. So we are trying to discuss how to be an SME that can survive. It's not easy to do business that you can even pay people salary. I'm telling you, it's very tough. And I hope the government understands the effect of the policies it is putting in place. It's very, very difficult. I'm telling you. It's very, very, very difficult. So while we do the birthdays and talk about all the things we have talked about, I need to let you know that if a business is a going concern up to today and can employ even 10 people, Charlie, we must be grateful to them. All right, I wanted you to do the last one before I jump into the more substantive matters.
Yeah, so this one is coming in from our good friend and colleague Thomas Obeng Daku, and he says we should say happy birthday to Sylvester Afedo, who is the manager responsible for accounts as Fenil Insurance Brokers. And he's celebrating him today for his contributions to his own life and family, and then also the important role that he plays in his life. So you are +1 today, Sylvester Afedo. Happy birthday to you. And some other quick ones, Bernard, if you would indulge me. This one from Paul Jangbat, Community 12 in Tema, says, good morning, CBS. Today is my birthday, so we should celebrate you. So yes, we are celebrating you, myself, Bernard, and the rest of the crew. We are celebrating you. Happy birthday, Paul. This one from Charles says, happy birthday to Patrick Lawe. Palam is a lawyer. Lawe, yes, Palam. And Dr. Patricia Atak Palam of Rich Hospital. I wish them God's grace and blessings. Wow, the two of them celebrate their birthday on the same day. Wow, that's interesting. To a darling husband and dad, Samuel Aye Ameo. Today is a special day because you were born today. Okay, so we love you so much. Happy birthday from Ava and Anita. Serafina Davis from Sam says, happiest birthday to my sister Lillian Anna from James in Michelle or Camp Prison. This one says, happy belated birthday to Precious Asei Azaglo. Daddy loves you so much. It's coming in from Daddy. And this one says, today is the birthday of two amazing people in my life, my wonderful wife and partner, Esther Ofusua, and my old boy, Mr. Anna. And it says that God bless you both for being there for the family. It's coming in from brother Anna Jr. in Ibri. And Sarah says this morning, blessed birthday to Carl Anthony Kwe. I wish you many blessings, and above all, may God keep you safe and loving as you do. And this one says, good morning, Koku, Oboda, and the Lord. Trust you all well. May I seek of you to wish Nana Joe Guido. Joe Guido. Hey, what name is this? Daughter of former board chair of Asante Kotoko. A happy birthday. Littlewood celebrate her thanks. And this one says, good morning. I have a birthday wish for my CEO. I beg, I need this shout out to him on CBS. Otherwise, trouble. Dela Herman Agbo, CEO of Echo Capital Investment Management, wishing God's continuous increment on your life and prosperity.
I final one to Dr. Isaac Park. We see Bonzi of Ayao Medical Center, Chairman Abokobi. A happy birthday coming from VK Thompson, your patient. All right, now, so before I get into the things I want to talk about, the Zenith Health Walk is happening this Saturday, the 17th of June, 6 a.m. at Zenith Bank's head office, Independence Avenue. Because everyone is banking with us, we are inviting everyone to walk with us. Join us, let's have fun and create memories as we keep fit and walk towards a healthy lifestyle. See you at the Zenith Health Walk, Saturday, 17 June, 6 a.m. sharp. This venue is Zenith Bank head office, Zenith Bank in your best interest. At Imperial General, we believe your insurance experience should be memorable. When you insure with us, you have peace of mind to focus on what matters because we will be there for you when the unexpected happens. Our newly introduced travel insurance policy gives you total cover for all your travels outside Ghana. Talk to us for your motor engineering, accident, marine, fire bonds, all the insurance experience that you want. We will give you with a smile. Call Imperial General on 0577 667 436 or 0302 788 955. Imperial General, solid protection. Don't forget, Citi Business Festival is in this week 2, and it's brought to you by APSA, sponsored by MTN Momo, MTN Business, ZPay, with support from Gesal. Tune in at 9:05 today as we talk about navigating the tax maze. That's an SME. There's a big panel discussion on building resilient SME brands at 11 a.m. today with Vivian Kailoko on Citi Television. Meanwhile, everybody is talking about that one thing that pushes them to the next level. And with your car, it's the Shell Helix engine oil, designed to bring out the best in your engine, protecting it from wear and tear, providing the power and ultimate performance needed to give you the best ride. Choose Shell Helix. Choose the lubricants in Koswahene. Visit your local Shell station today and experience the difference for yourself. Okay, for those of you driving in and around Accra, I just wanted to play this voice clip quickly for you in case you haven't heard. Ministry of Roads and Highways, acting through Department of Urban Roads, says the flow of vehicular traffic at the southern approach of the Flowerpot roundabout in Accra will be interrupted from 13 June, which is today, to October 31 to enable the construction of a flyover onto the motorway to go on. A statement has been issued. We had a brief interview with Arnold Edu, resident engineer on the project, who spoke about it.
Basically, we are implementing a traffic management plan so that construction of the flyover from the Flowerpot across the motorway into East Legon can be carried out. At the moment, the contractor is working towards the Palace area, Palace Mall area, going down to, the road leading down to Mahama Roundabout, where we used to have, where there was a traffic light at the Palace Mall. That is where work is concentrated now. So that is why we've had to implement certain traffic management measures so that traffic can flow and while the contractor is working together with the Flowerpot roundabout.
And this exercise is taking place from when to when, and how are motorists going to be affected by this? What will be your message to motorists as well?
Well, it's going to, from now to October, almost to the end of October this year. We are looking about 4 months. That is how long it's going to take.
And how is this going to affect motorists? And also, what will be your message to motorists as you embark on this exercise?
It will affect because certain roads, there have been some diversions while work is going on. Work is going on the main road from Flowerpot roundabout towards the Mahama roundabout, and on the opposite side towards the Temamoto way. So certain diversions have been put in place, certain roads, certain access have been blocked. That is what is happening at the moment. So we would plead with motorists and also pedestrian road users, mostly the motorists, to look out for directions and signs, and also be patient and bear with us whilst we do our best to complete the work as soon as possible.
Great.
All right, so that was the resident engineer on the motor flyover project, and what they do. As I said, we will have to. As a part of it, I said, let's take it like that because this project is progressing steadily. Although, of course, this project should have been finished way long ago. This project was started under the previous administration, and for 4 years, nothing was done about it. And then they continued now in 2021. So that's. But the reason this project is important is that, Nathan, this part of town is becoming increasingly dense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in between the Lejokuku constituency and the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency and the Ladade Kotopon constituency. So it's like 3 constituencies meet at the Flowerpot interchange. Like 10 years ago, Spintex Road was like the biggest thing happening in Ghana. These days, it's no longer the same. I used Spintex Road over the weekend, and yeah, it's still busy, but it's not what it used to be. A lot of people have moved. So what tends to happen in Ghana is that when people get money, they move closer into the center of town. So Spintex was the nouveau riche, but these days it's moved to different parts. East Legon is the new Spintex. Yeah. The issue is that this flower pot interchange connects like Chado, Bemakam, very important place, Spintex Road. Then across is East Legon. Then you have the airport Accra Mall area. It's a very dense enclave that needs a lot of intricate design. The tunnel that they did under the motorway was good, but there's still a lot of traffic from the tunnel when you are coming from East Legon. Okay. So there's a lot of movement from East Legon into Spintex and Teshi. The tunnel is not big enough. So the flyover is very important. Over the motorway. But the question is, how are they managing the traffic flow? And 6 months is a long time. I mean, June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. Let's go back to the line and speak to the resident engineer. Thank you for talking to us again, Mr. Edu. So the announcement said that the traffic will be interrupted between June 13 and October 31. Should I take that to mean that the project will be finished in October 31?
No. Good morning.
Morning.
No, the project won't be completed in October. It will go beyond October. Presently, the completion date is supposed to be in December. But with the current situation that we are putting in, current management plan we are putting in place, that is what is going to last up to October.
What exactly are you doing that will require the diversions that because I use that road almost every day.
Yes.
So, and you've essentially blocked the traffic light that used to. So, especially when you're coming from Palace or you're coming from Bema Camp, there's a traffic light that used to then direct. You are working there. But what are you doing that will require that thing to be blocked for 5 months?
From that portion, the southern part, we are going to build an apartment piers that will support the flyover towards Flower Port, which continues towards the motorway, over the motorway into East Legon. So presently, the contractor is working around the Palace Mall traffic light, which we were talking about, all the way to Flower Port. That is where work is going on intensely at the moment.
So give me the design of the road. Those coming from Mahama Roundabout, if they are going to East Legon, they go over the motorway. Is that correct?
That is the project.
Yes.
Yes. Those coming from Bemakam will go over the flyover. You climb just before you get to after the Mahama Roundabout, you come up. Before you get to where the traffic light was, you climb onto the flyover, and to take you all the way over the motorway. Then you descend down at the East Legon police station, just before the East Legon police station.
So the flyover, when it goes over the motorway, turns right to join the boundary road onto the police station.
Yes.
What about those coming from East Legon who want to go to Bema Camp or Teshi?
Yes.
Will they also go over the motorway?
Yes. They will come from, what I call I think they are coming from Shiashi side.
Shiashi?
Yes. You get to the traffic light that takes you to the tunnel.
Yes.
Yes. So from that, you will climb up part of the flyover, a ramp, to join the flyover, and you head towards Flower Port, Palace, Bemakam.
What about those coming from East Legon going to Tema? Will they use the flyover? How will they land on the motorway?
No, the flyover does not connect you to the motorway.
So if you are coming from East Legon going to Tema, how do you get there?
From East Legon, you can use the present how do you call it? The tunnel.
And then go and use the
Then go to Flower Pot
roundabout and then join
and connect to the motorway.
Join to the motorway. Okay, what if you are coming from Tema and you are going to East Legon?
That's what I'm saying. From Tema, the motorway, there's no connection to the flyover at the moment.
So it's just a flyover the motorway. It doesn't connect the motorway directly itself. It's basically to ease the traffic. I get the point. Now,
the essential thing is to the traffic around Flowerport, all those East Legon, going through the tunnel. That is where it's going to ease up a lot of time. And those coming from East Legon going to town, they won't have to go to the Kwashi or concentrate on the tunnel. So this is going to open up.
Now, sir, what we know theoretically is that when you are doing a road project like this, you must make alternative routes available. I admit that for those coming from Burma Camp towards Flowerport, there's an alternative route you've created that passes near the church. But if somebody is coming from, say, the tunnel or from Action Chapel and going towards Palace, and they are going to Burma Camp, I know there are some alternative rough roads between where people sell the vehicles. Are those rough roads in a good shape to become a diversion from the construction site?
You say coming from Action going to Palace, there's a new road that has been opened up in front of Palace.
Yeah, but it's part of the traffic congestion. I'm thinking about a diversion that could avoid that whole place completely.
We are still looking at ways of improving the situation we are in now as we work. So we are looking at all those options. If for now, if we can create another diversion somewhere to eat, we will tackle that. Because the work is still going on. As we said, we are also monitoring the situation and see how best we can improve as the work goes on.
Finally, I noticed that the Spintex road extension you've done, which connects you to the new JMP's fuel station, you've done some 3 new roads.
Which fuel station?
What I'm saying is that from the Shell at the road construction, there's a new road you've done all the way, which is like an alternative to Spintex road. But that road hasn't been fully opened yet. What's the plan for that road, and how does it connect to this project?
Actually, that road is another project. It is not part of what I am working on at the moment, but it is part of the grand scheme for the whole area. So that's another contractor working on that. So I'm not very.
But eventually you will link their project to yours because.
Yes. It's going to be linked. From that road, you come to a roundabout just in front of Palace Mall. That will be created. So it's going to be linked. But as I said, it's being handled by a different contractor. So I am not very sure about the plans for that.
Finally, sir, before you announce your disruptions, yesterday there was so much traffic. And in fact, for those who even use the Mahama Road into Chain Homes towards Chado and Teshi, the Chado roundabout was just crazy.
By the cemetery.
Yes, not the cemetery. Where you continue after Chain Homes all the way to the end, there's a roundabout that takes you to Chado on the right and Teshi Tebibiano on the left. For those who go to Teshi.
Yes.
Now that Tebibiano interchange, there's a very rough patch that causes so much traffic. My question is, if you're going to make such a major interruption, should we not be patching some other potholes in other connected roads? Because there's imported traffic all over the area. If you look on the Google map yesterday, everywhere was red. Chado was red. Teshi Tebibiano was red. I mean, Burma Camp was red. All because of this your road project. So I don't know whether that's question one. Number 2, how are you working with the police to ensure that this new traffic, they would attach a greater sense of urgency to their traffic management? Because sometimes it be like they are tired or something, and the cars just pile up and people just are frustrated. So
we are working with the police. They are part of. They support us very well. They've been part of our discussions that we have to put in place this management plan So they are part. We are working with them. We do have regular meetings with them. Yeah. Now back to your first question. We'll have to look at that. We are not aware of that situation, so we'll have a look at it and see what we can do to make the situation a bit better.
And while you are doing that, as well, when you are from the cemetery all the way to Chad Runabout, there's no U-turn on that road. So, and I'll give you an example. If somebody lives in Chain Homes and they need to come to town,
somebody lives where?
Chain Homes is on the Mahama stretch. If they have to come
towards Chadu.
Yes, if they have to come to town, they have to go all the way to the Chad Runabout. There's no U-turn on that road. And there's so much traffic at that Chad Runabout because of your road construction. So somebsomebody could spend sometimes 30 minutes just to turn at a runabout and come back to town. And I don't know whether temporarily you can create some U-turns to make it easier, because trust me, it's a very complicated situation in that enclave because of this road project.
Okay, we'll get inside we'll get the Department of Urban Rules to have a look at the situation and see what can be done. Because as I said, we've just started, so we are still having a look and see how best we can improve the situation.
Okay. In fact, I can volunteer and come and show you the road myself. What you should do. So if you want me to come, I'll come. But trust me, we are very happy with the road project because we know it's a very important project in a fast developing area. So we appreciate what you are doing. You work during the rain, you work at weekends, we see what you are doing. And it's a very, very good job you are doing. But we just want to say that you must let the information flow better, because a lot of commuters did not know about this until they got caught in the traffic, right? Yes, we saw the signboards, but we should have used the media even last week to announce. In fact, in some countries, they will be giving you prior notice a week or two ahead. So I want to urge you to keep engaging so that people will know what to do. If they don't have to go to town, they'll even stay home, because the traffic is so much. But we appreciate what you are doing, and we thank you so much for your time. Project Overseer Arnold Edu, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So that was a resident engineer on the motorway flyover project. Sky, as I keep saying that, even though it's inconvenient, we are better than you. So as for you, dear.
I shouldn't even add myself.
And as for Godfred and the people on the Obichibilam, they are.
Oh, they know they inside.
And so for line, those people, they have forgotten. But a lot of people who use that road are not happy because the traffic is very serious.
Yeah, in fact, there's a driver who uses that corridor a lot, and he knows that place inside out. A good friend of this station. So Yesuto is listening. He works with Orca. And then he says that, good morning. Please tell the listeners to use alternative routes. If you're coming from Spintex, turn right at the DBS junction or GT Bank junction and use the back of the Bank of Ghana to join the roundabout.
Yes.
You could also use the Accra Mall from town and enter motorway to Flowerport and then East Lake.
Very important point. Let me tell you, if you are coming from Siashi, Achimota, Jowulu, and you are going to Teshi or Spintex Road, you don't need to use Accra Mall. Just hit the motorway, drive 2 kilometers. There's actually a legal right turn from the motorway onto Flowerport, which has now been opened. So when you turn right, you go straight through Flowerport and you hit Mahama Roundabout. Or you can then make a left and go and hit Spintex.
So what if you are going, not say onto the main Spintex Road, but along that stretch, from Palace inside, and you're going somewhere there? It means you need to find.
There are two things you can do. You can either even continue to 18 diversion. So if you are hitting it, like if you are going to Nungwa or Teshi areas, you don't even need to use Flowerport. Just hit the motorway and go till Community 18 junction. Okay, there's this right turn that takes you to.
I'm asking, the stretch that has like China Mall, the new Melcom, or those places.
Just go by bicycle. that place there, just take a bike.
Okay.
Scott, the other thing I'll say is that, I was driving on that road on Sunday, like, the place, because Samens used to live there, I used to go there a lot. Like, so many shops selling home.
Yes, not home appliances, like interior decor, fixtures, those things.
There are a couple of things that came to me. On one hand, we are saying that businesses are overwhelmed with taxes. But businesses are booming. Like, and a lot of them are import business. So they are bringing in, like, chairs, things from Turkey, lights, China. Sky. When you walk there's a place called Bank of Ghana. Walk on that road to Coca-Cola roundabout. Take a pen and a paper and start writing the companies you see. Sky, a lot of home. So like fixtures and fittings, home-based, plenty. And the truth is that most of those things are not made here.
They're imported.
And it's funny because we are complaining about the economy, but I can tell you that on the home side, there's a lot. Like you want to buy a lamp for your room, you want to buy chairs, you want to buy curtains. You
That's
want
what I was asking, because a lot of those shops from that
equipment. You want to buy spare parts for your lawnmower.
But the fact is that
Sky,
people, I told you here
plenty.
before that a lot of money is being hidden.
But people say no get money.
Unexplained wealth.
Charlie.
A lot of money is being laundered.
And the other thing is that, Sky,
yeah,
the size of the you see, government in the past you have small companies. When you hit this fintech road from the
Bank of Ghana,
you are having
Coca-Cola.
like superstores. From Palace, like when I talk of a superstore, like when you enter the shop, you can say, and you hear your voice.
That's true.
saying,
That's
"It's
true.
big."
That's true.
And they are
That's
bringing.
true.
So my question is, how come these companies are so big and yet we claim that there's no money? Number two, how come all these things are imported and we are not making any of them here?
There are genuine businesses, and there are people doing genuine business. That should not be taken away from them. But as I told you before, the fact is, a lot of money is being hidden, a lot of money is being laundered, a lot of money is being cleaned.
You don't have evidence. You're a lawyer.
Bernard, I've not made a specific.
Okay, you are using your journalistic side.
You see, and you know that my expertise is in the area of fraud and economic crime. So I know a lot of my. Yeah, but you know that.
I'll give you 10 minutes to deal with this matter because as I drove on the Spintex road on Sunday, I was telling someone that
that's the truth.
It's one
the
big
buildings
shop.
have
But the other thing too was that even though the shops were big, I didn't see too many people though.
So you see, many of these new buildings are happening in town, right? Plush buildings, yet nothing is happening in them.
Charlie,
nobody is living in them. They are empty.
The size of the building. Yeah. You need like 1,000 people to be shopping there for it to make sense. But some are doing well. Check and social media trends is brought to you. No. Like
look how government looks.
Like, for example, Melcom is doing really, really well. Like they've opened some superstores.
Yes.
Like on that road, there's a huge Melcom. I saw another Melcom.
There's a new Orchard Deco
near the Pastor Wingham's church. And they are big superstores.
Okay.
You know, last 2 years we did a survey between Palace, China Mall, and Melcom. I think Melcom is in a comfortable lead now.
In terms of its
Sky, like you see, 2 years ago when we did this discussion, China Mall had an offering that they sell wholesale price to retail, and they have huge shops. But China Mall are not that many. What Melcom has done is that Melcom is everywhere.
So these two giants from the east.
And Melcom is from here.
No, but is it not what they call an Indian
run
company?
by Indian.
It's an Indian company. And then you have the Chinese also running China Mall.
So it's like China versus India.
Yeah, that's right. So these are.
But Melcom, what I want to say of Melcom is that
Melcom is like second or third generation Ghana.
Yes, Melcom has been here for over 100 years. And the other point is that Melcom have now like smaller units. So good, like Tesco.
Tesco, yeah.
So Melcom is now your Tesco.
Tesco Express. Then.
Sky, Melcom is everywhere. And when you enter the shop, anything you need, you get.
Plus, they've managed to get other arms and legs. So they have like eateries, art kitchen, that kind of thing.
It's a serious
they
something.
Have, like a fashion
and the
bit
shop,
and all.
the design of the shop even looks different. When you go, you waste all your money.
You buy everything.
You buy everything.
Window shopping.
Don't take your children. You take your children. You are finished.
They say when you go to the shopping mall with your wife and you are holding the hands tight.
It's not because you
love her like that.
You're trying to win.
All right, let's get into the segment brought to you by Vodafone. Exciting news from Vodafone Cash. We now allow payments to all merchant numbers on other networks. Dial *110#, select option 1 and send money. Option 2 to other networks and follow the prompts to send money. And of course, the segment is also brought to us by FBN. Invites you, our female entrepreneurs and professionals, to sign up for the First Gem account designed for women aged 18 and above. You can open a personal savings or current First Gem account And this will entitle you to attractive and exciting benefits. Call 059-692-1921. Go to fbmbankghana.com for more details. Nathan, sorry for taking all your time. What is trending?
Fine. Well, you have a lot of sport-related trends. On the football side, Sheikh Jassim, Man United, all trending because yesterday there were reports saying that some outlets in Qatar were reporting that Sheikh Jassim's bid for Man United had gone through.
It will fall through.
We are yet to confirm.
It will go through. It will fall through.
That. So that's and it's generating a lot of other trends. Qatar in is trending.
You want Arab money.
I thought you were critical of Qatar.
So that who should be poor? You there? You want?
I'm only indicating what is in the trend. I have no stance. I really don't care.
We pour sand into their guys.
We'll add gunpowder and grapple everything.
On the basketball side of things, Serbia is trending. Why is Serbia trending? Well, the MVP for the 2023 NBA Finals, Nikola Jokic, is from Serbia. So that's how come Serbia is trending. His teammate Jamal Murray is equally trending. And
you know that the tennis number is also from Serbia.
Yes, Novak Djokovic.
I
saw a post that a country with such a small population producing some great athletes.
Yes.
The same thing with Croatia.
Very skilled, very cultured athletes. So those are the things dominating a lot of the trends. So some tech news. Now, Linda Yaccarino is the new boss of Twitter. She has outlined her plans for what she calls Twitter 2.0 after taking over from Elon Musk a week ago.
So where's Uncle Elon?
Well, he's still around, but now Madame Yaccarino is handling matters. Now, she says the company is on a mission to become the world's most accurate real-time information source. Since Mr. Musk bought Twitter last year, it has faced criticism over its approach to tackling disinformation. Last month, the company lost its head of trust and safety and pulled out of the EU's disinformation code. But Ms. Yaccarino has echoed Mr. Musk's goal that Twitter must transform the global town square.
No, Charlie. But the interview request has not been responded to.
You
have to boost the post. You have to boost it. You have to boost it.
City 97.3 Accra. One day, an old lady inherited a huge sum of money. Her family worried about how to break the good news to her. They feared that the sudden good news might give her a heart attack. And so they decided the family doctor who was experienced in delivering such news should be the one to tell her. And when he did, surprisingly, she just smiled. Relieved, he asked, "What are you going to do with all that money?" She replied, "I'm going to give you half." The doctor had a heart attack. People are often surprised when we put them first. At FBN Bank, that's what we do. We put you first. Open an account with us today and enjoy mobile banking, USSD banking, shop and pay with our prepaid Visa cards, MasterCard, and many other services designed with you in mind. FBN Bank, you first.
Brother Bernard.
Yes?
Onia, this morning I'm very hungry. Please, let's go and buy gobe. This time, I want her to add small salad, really, small talia, and soft cocoa, specially made for me. Pay, you know how I like to customize my food.
Hey, because of what? You think say you dey buy Vodafone made for me bundle offers? Star 530 hash is the code to get the best value offers made just for you for as low as 1 Ghana cedi.
Hey, Brother Bernard, so you've been hiding Vodafone made for me bundles from me?
Oh, just dial star 530 hash. Feel special with the Vodafone made for me bundle offers. Get unbeatable best value offers from voice, data, or voice plus data bundles made just for you. Dial star 530 hash to subscribe to Vodafone made for me bundle offers or download my Vodafone app today.
Vodafone, further together.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
There's a queen in every woman, an embodiment of sophistication and strength, overflowing with color, light, and love. Every woman is a queen, and with GTP's all-new Ohima collection, you get in touch with your inner royalty. Crown your style. New Ohima collection from GTP. Now available at any of our accredited dealers nationwide or any Woodin shop. GTP. Life styled.
Do you remember that just a few years ago, your dad was telling you,
You dear, you like pressing your phone will kill you. You marry your phone.
now it is he who can't put his phone down. WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, every minute. Now he updates you on trend. As for you, you won't complain. No, you won't judge that. You will get him a very good Samsung smartphone on discount this Father's Day. And you know he will love you for it. From 8th to 19th June, buy the Galaxy Z Fold 4 and get a 1,500 Ghana cedis discount. Get a good deal on any Samsung Galaxy A14, A04s, A04 and A04e. Get a free case when you buy a Galaxy A03 Core as well. This offer is available at all Samsung authorized stores now. You're a good child and you're getting a good deal from Samsung this Father's Day. Terms and conditions apply.
A bank that supports you, a bank that cares for you. Hand in hand, we stand with you. So lift your head up, big dreams are waiting. We'll walk with you wherever you go. Where all your dreams come alive. CBG will make you smile. No matter what, we will rise with you. Your business will flourish. Your name will stand out. Consolidated Bank, CBG.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi.
That's the situation. Everybody's speculating. They say, what have we done to deserve this constant changing? Father, Father, hear us. Because we trust the failed us. They say, look to the Lord for salvation and he shall redeem you. Lord, I'm getting frustrated. Yes, I'm losing my patience. I've been waiting for so long. How long will this go on for? Got my back against the wall. I've been waiting for so long.
60 minutes past 8. Some business owners in the country have since been on government to reconsider numerous taxes they pay right from source of their raw materials through import duties to production, packaging and selling their finished goods. The business captains claim government is deliberately targeting them as a soft spot for its revenue mobilization because they are formalized. Business owners have intensified their calls on government to either review or scrap some of the taxes after several attempts to get the government attention to scrap the COVID health recovery levy from the list of taxes businesses pay. The president recently pleaded with Ghanaians to keep paying the COVID-19 levy despite the pandemic having been declared to be over. I'm reading from the front page of the Economy Times. The COVID levy that was introduced to help fill some of the expenditure holes might not be the most popular tax, but I entreat all of you to bear with us, the president pleaded. However, the Guta has said it is not opposed to government increasing its revenue, rather they want the COVID levy expunged. President Joseph Obeng explained that the association is not opposed to taxes, including the e-levy, noting the e-levy as it is structured now is okay and it will help expand the tax net. But the COVID levy is what needs to be taken out of the table to help lessen the burden of businesses. The Guta president said the COVID levy is deemed as a nuisance tax now that the COVID era is gone. The government imposed the COVID levy on the supply of goods and services and imports to raise revenue to support COVID-19 expenditures and provide for related matters. Within 8 months of coming into implementation, the levy accrued 779.93 million cedis, according to fiscal data released by the Ministry of Finance on 22nd April 2022. All right, I'm going to do some announcements. I'm going to check. There's this data the Bank of Ghana releases every quarter about economic activity. The last time I checked for March, everything was going down except travel to Ghana and a few other things like SNIT payments. So we'll check again to see how to measure economic activity. Whether what I saw on the Spintex Road when I traveled there, when I went through on Sunday, was the reality Big shops opening, selling home equipment, lots of new places to shop. Of course, it was a Sunday. I didn't see too many people buying. But how do you reconcile the newly opening shops and outlets with people's claim that they don't have money? We'll deal with that shortly. But Nathan has a few announcements to make.
Yeah. Yeah, in life, you have to insist on the best. And when you find it, please stick to it. Bell Pack paper tissue is one of the best things in life. Bell Pack has cereals that are soft but not weak, strong but not hard, just perfect. Switch to Bell Pack today and experience the perfect paper tissue. Now, to be a distributor, call Bell Pack on 0551 144 400. 0551 144 400. Bell Pack paper tissue is another quality product from Belacqua. Now, Father's Day is approaching and fathers are heroes. And Caveman Watches is putting together a great package for all fathers. Now, talking about Caveman Watches, though, it's a global standard. New York Times endorsed, made in Ghana watch brand that makes bespoke premium watches right here in Ghana. Visit their showroom and factory at Adriangano by GPS Caveman Watches and order a customized watch for that special father figure in your life. And for the first time ever, they're running a 10% discount on all watches until the 19th of June. So visit their website, Caveman Watches, or find them on all social media platforms at Caveman Watches, or call them on 0557 516 744 now. Caveman Watches, be remembered.
All right. Bayport Savings and Loans has a question for you. Can you really call it savings or investment if all you can do, or if all you keep doing is paying charges on accounts? At Bayport, we believe an investment account should make you more money. That is why our fixed deposit has been the preferred choice for most Ghanaians for the last 2 decades. Convenience and peace of mind are redefined as you enjoy guaranteed maximum returns on every CD invested. Call us on 0302 745 454. Bayport, your future now. This is the final notice from TDC to all debtors and ground rent defaulters of TDC Development Company. All debtors and defaulters of lands purchase, lands management fees, license fees, and ground rent, as well as office and shop rent and house rent, are advised to make payments before the end of this month to avoid the repossession and the recovery of these properties. You can pay through GCB Bank nationwide or use short code *737 *46#, or pay at the TDC head office near Olam High School or Ashaiman sub office. You may also call 059 691 3236. Sky, there's something I don't understand. So I am not there. The realities don't work. So we just read a story that says businesses say that they are struggling. All right. Now, when you go to the economic data, the real cumulative index of economic activity is called the real CIEA, real cumulative index of economic activity. If you look at from 2021 January to 2021 July to 2022 January, 2022 July, it's been declining. So the cumulative index of economic activity has been declining and is now even negative, right? In March, it was negative 6.4%. Now it's around that figure, right? It's come down, all right? And I'm looking at May statistics. So when you put economic activity together, there's a decline. So the economy is contracting. Things are declining. So it's called the real CIEA, cumulative index of economic activity. Now, this matches about 3 data points. Port activity. Port activity, which is container traffic for March 2023, was 54,000.
So imports and exports.
It's come down. Again, if you take January 2021, it was around 62,000. It went up August 2021 to around 74,000. Then it came all the way down to 50,000 in January 2022.
Over 20,000.
It came to about 44,000 around end of December. It's recovering, but it's downward trend. All right, so if you take the beginning of 2021,
we're down.
Port activity is on a downward trend, and we know why, because the port charges are so high. I've been trying to buy a car for the past 1 year. I've decided I'm not going to buy it because I can't afford the port charge. It doesn't make sense. by the way, when I finished calculating the tax on the car, I said I'll just use the car I have like that. All right. So port activity is trending downwards.
And you also have neighboring countries using other ports in the.
So people are preferring Togo and other places. Number 3, cement sales. Now this is where I'm baffled. Cement sales is coming down as well. Again, if you look at January 2021, look at the figure. The trend is downwards. Although things are recovering, I need to say that for all the data sets I'm using, after March, things started recovering. So we are recovering in all the data sets. From April, things started moving upwards. So the question to listeners is that, has your personal economy started improving since April? Because when you take the Ghana statistics, although things are much worse today than they were at the beginning of 2021, things appear to be recovering today compared to March. Do you get the logic? So it's like March 2023 was the trough. All right. Things came down to March and now they started going up again. But the question is, are things going up for you? Let me know. But 2 key points. Cement sales are coming down.
Yep.
If you look at 2021 to now, port traffic is coming down. Job adverts.
They've gone down.
They vacillated. The peak we got was 2021 July. Job adverts were about 4,000. Now it's around 2,500. It's come down. Again, it's recovering from March upwards. But the trend is downwards. What baffles me is that industrial consumption of electricity is going up. It doesn't make sense because if
people are not buying so much cement.
No, this is my theory. If your real cumulative index of economic activity is coming down, it means that when you put all economic activity, manufacturing, buying and selling, if it's on a decline and it's actually less than zero, how come electricity consumption, and this is in gigawatts, this is not in cedis. So this is not sensitive to tariff. This is the raw power they are using.
Are there specific industries that are doing well, which are an exception to the general indications we're seeing here?
It's a very good question because electricity consumption should not be counter-cyclical. Electricity consumption should be in line with economic activity. Yeah. So electricity consumption, and if it is easy to listen, you tell me whether people are just using more power. But look at the chart. In January 2021, it was about 240 gigawatts. It went all the way to a peak of about 315 in March. Before it came down a bit and it's gone up again.
315 from 240.
Good. Wow. Something else I need to show you. Passenger arrivals is the only thing that has been going up.
In terms of from the airport?
The trend for passenger arrivals from January 2021 to January 2023 is upward. So since COVID was declared over, people are coming to Ghana. There was a slight dip between December 2021 and January 2022, but it's recovered again. So passenger traffic as of March is 86,000. Wonderful. The other thing that is troubling me is
hold it there, because today's Daily Graphic did a story on tourist arrival surge on US. They are from USA, India, Nigeria, and China. They are the top.
And it's going up.
And it's going up in the first quarter. But what I was interested in was, where are they going once they are here? Because Chinese tourists?
So that is a very good point. You know the problem.
In Ghana?
You see, the graphic should be careful because you see, the Bank of Ghana uses passenger arrivals.
Not tourist arrivals.
Passenger arrivals is a more realistic measure of inflow.
Yes.
Now, the person can self-identify as a tourist, but you need to triangulate with the visits to tourist sites to check if they're actually tourists.
Which is why I am asking this, because this is actually coming from the Ghana Tourism Authority. Which is why my next question was, where are they visiting?
Going? Yeah.
Because I've seen some data on expenditure, which is why we need a bit more.
Because China to come to Ghana for tourist visit is weird.
Yeah, so they are camouflaging most likely.
So they're coming as tourist visas.
Yeah, some people are.
So they are marking tourist visas there.
No, what you need to do is to ask the tourist authority whether they use just tourist visas or they actually use visits to tourist sites to confirm this.
No, you see, it is one thing coming into a country claiming that you are a tourist, visiting a few sites, and then not leaving after your visa expires or when you were due to leave the country, and then getting involved in businesses. I mean, some of our people do it. They travel to US or Canada. They say they are tourists.
They are going to work in Piccadilly factory.
Exactly.
Okay, I get that. Sky, I just want to go back to this. So guys, I'm saying this is my point. The real cumulative index of economic activity is on decline. So the economy is declining. And cement sales have been on an everlasting decline. Look at it. And cement sales, for me, is the most accurate measure of the construction sector. All right. Cement sales was at, it was at around 320,000. It peaked mid 2021 around 400. It's been declining. Then around January 2023 went up. 2021 went up a bit. Look at the decline. Cement sales are on it's like nobody's building. All right. I've already told you that port activity is declining. 3 things that are going up that I don't understand. Industrial consumption of electricity is going up. SNIT contributions
have gone up or not down?
Are going up. So SNIT is doing something right because SNIT contributions are moving from a low of below 200 million to over 315 million. So SNIT has been on an upward trend. So
is it because of the work they are doing with the informal sector?
They began that only last week, last month.
Last month. You can't explain the sharp.
SNIT has to come and explain because these statistics are called high frequency economic indicators. There may be local reasons why SNIT contributions may be going up. Again, as from an economics perspective, SNIT contributions are a measure of incomes. Do you understand? So high income, high contribution. So is it that people are getting higher salaries and they are not declaring it, and yet they are paying higher SNIT? Because if you put the total SNIT contributions from 2021 January, the gradient is steep and it's pointing northwards. So obviously, there's something positive going on in people's incomes. Now, the one that baffles me the most is the second chart.
Which is the one in red.
Yes, retail sales and domestic VAT collection. So this for me is the summary of Ghana. Okay, the blue chart is retail sales.
How much we are selling?
Now describe the chart. It's flat.
Flat, yeah.
So it means that people are not buying. All right, retail sales is flat. The gradient is close to 0. It's flat. But domestic VAT collection is going up.
How do you explain that?
That's why the story that this paper did is correct. The story that the Zawu do is correct.
So they are hustling them.
So what the Zawu is telling you is that people are not buying, yet the government is stressing people for tax. And this is the BOG's. Later, look at this. So that is not. You didn't do economics. This line, what's this line called? The blue line is called what? It's called retail sales.
Yeah.
It means that this is people buying.
Yes.
This is consumption expenditure.
Yeah.
How do you describe the line?
Retail sales, the blue line, is almost flat line.
Yes. It rose a bit and then it's just flat.
It's just flat.
Right? So from 2021 January to 2023 January, it's almost the same.
Really changed.
So people are not buying. So it's not surprising that real economic activity is coming down. Yet VAT collection is going up.
So are these arrears they are collecting?
They've
because
they've increased VAT
tax rate.
You see,
okay.
And they are now
so that's why the collections
they are now
have gone up.
harassing people for tax.
Yes.
So my point is that in 8 slides,
we know
1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 3, 9. In 9 charts, I can tell you that Ghana's economy doesn't make sense.
There's something wrong.
I'm telling you.
Let's look at the
electricity.
Let's look at the electricity thing.
How do you have an economy that real economic growth is negative? Yet people are spending more electricity. People are contributing more SNIT. Cement sales are down. Port traffic is down. People are not buying. Yet tax collection is up.
You see, so the explanation
wasn't the VAT formula adjusted recently? So we are paying more VAT now.
Yes, you are paying more.
But not because people have money. So that means that you are stifling companies because you see, the company's income or revenue is what they work with to pay anything. If between January 2021 and March 2023, your retail sales is low, and yet you are collecting more tax, you are destroying the businesses. That's what the chart says.
Yeah, so the explanation you gave for the VAT collection, how about we apply the same principle to the ECG situation? Is it that because we have seen recent movements on illegal connections, that may well explain why there's an upward trend in terms of the amount of electricity being consumed?
The ECG issue is the power, not the tax.
If the real consumption.
If ECG has said revenue, then I'll say you are right. But this is power being used.
Power being used
by industries, and the power being used by industry is rising. So So this is what it means. They are using more power
to do what?
To produce goods that people are not buying. Because see, consumption of power by industry is our production capacity. It just means that people, two things. Cost of production in Ghana is too high. So if you produce anything in Ghana, it makes more sense to import it. Because if you are going to produce something and you're going to use that much power to produce it, and yet people are not going to buy it,
then what's
they're
the
going
point?
to tax you more.
What's the point?
Yes, so what I'm saying is that based on these 9 charts that the BOD has released in May, the economy doesn't make sense.
What's happening in the industrial zones? How do we even call them? The ones,
free zones.
The free zones. Is there? Can we get some insight from what's happening within the free zones?
The free zones concept, I don't understand it fully, so I don't even want to venture.
Because the idea is produce, send
For
it
export.
out. Yeah. So if it is not going to be domesticated in sense of domestic consumption of the same, would it account for the increased use of power? And the
Possibly.
You see, the
Possibly,
point.
but if you are going to export more, then there should be a revenue benefit. So we can go back to the macro data and see if we are getting
a lot
from our export. So you have inflation, exchange rate. The other point I need to make is that in all the things I've described, inflation has been on an upward trend up until beginning of this year. So the inflation peaked in December and started falling. Food and non-food inflation peaked in December, started falling. Monthly headline inflation also started falling. Exchange rates also peaked in December, started falling. Same for cedi, same for euro, same for pound. So you can also say that the recovery we are seeing from around March, there is a relationship between the real sector and the monetary sector. That once the monetary starts looking better, the real sector's recovery. But real sector's recovery is not that great. So if you look at the consumption, for example, retail sales, it rose a little in December because of Christmas, and it came back down again. But my worry is how tax collection is going up so much, people are not buying, power is being consumed so much. I wish there was if there was a chart on production, like maybe that's the real CIE growth. It's down.
Yeah, and then also, if we connect that to the port activities, again, if people are really producing and exporting within the free zone, it should impact exports, no?
Yes, but
so container activities at the port.
Yeah, but port very important. So our port activity, we are an import-dependent country. So when your port activity is down, I am assuming that it means that because port charges are high, importers are opting not to use our port. All right. Number two, most of what we produce is raw material. So our exports are not that diversified. So we are a net importer. So a lower port activity doesn't necessarily inure to our benefit because we don't produce enough anyway. All right. So I think the number you should be looking at, these are the two things you should be looking at. The real economic growth rate, which is down, and then the retail sales, which is also flat. Apart from that, everything else is a contributory factor. I wanted to just come to a few other charts. External developments, cocoa price rising, Brent crude falling. So you would have thought that it will give a windfall to the country. Cocoa price is rising. Brent crude is coming down. Gold price is rising. And our gold production is rising. Gold and cocoa are your main revenue sources. So if you have more money, spend less on your imports. Okay. Total exports. Look at the chart. It's not. It's flat. It's almost like it's vacillating. So total export is not a steep gradient. So there's nothing there. Imports similar. Imports have really declined from 20. In fact, you can say that The biggest dip in imports was when we had our currency crisis in October.
Yeah.
Imports have just come down. Balance of trade is checkered. Gross international reserves, look at that. Down. Import cover, down. Net international reserves, down. So this is the stock of money we have to buffer against. And this is very similar to, you see this chart, gross international reserves is very similar to this chart, real economic growth rate. So that tells you that the economy is not doing well. All right. Banking sector indicators, you have them. So listeners, I just want to know how businesses are making it.
So sources are suggesting that what we're seeing with the VAT situation is because there is more efficient collection of VAT.
Okay.
And that the pilot of the e-VAT system has shown major growth. Also, the source suggests that we should wait till we see the additional large tax players who are to be added to the system. And then also, all Melcom shops are now in the e-VAT monitoring system as part of the pilot.
So which is why they are seeing the domestic VAT collection go up. But my point is that if government is collecting more taxes and retail sales are flat, inevitably businesses will collapse. That's the point, because you are not selling. And if you are not selling...
But tax, VAT is based on what is sold, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's why if you raise the rate. So I can buy this phone yesterday for 100 cedis, and the VAT was 12%. If you raise the VAT to 20%, I'll buy the same phone tomorrow for 100 cedis, but I'm paying 20%.
Yeah, I understand that. My question is more to do with what the source is claiming. That if they are more efficient, then the efficiency should have some relationship with what is being sold on the market.
The only thing we can prove is the rate. Efficiency, they can say they're efficient. How do you measure it? What you and I know is that they've raised the VAT rate. So for the same goods sold, they will collect more money. And I'm saying that when you do that,
which I agree with,
you are stifling the company because the cost of production has not reduced. So if somebody is selling 10 phones and he used to pay 100 cedis and he's selling the same 10 phones and he's now paying 200 cedis, you are destroying the business. That's the simple way. Whether they are efficient or not, I don't know. The truth is that they've raised the rate of taxes. And that's why Elon Desawu is telling you that business owners are overwhelmed with many taxes. And people are not buying. I mean, when was the last time you took your family to shop? When was the last time you took your family to shop?
The last time I tried that trash.
What happened?
I spent close to 1,000 Ghana cedis just to buy a few, nuggets and some other things at the mall too.
The way...
And I was asking myself what's going on here.
Most of the money,
1,000 Ghana cedis like that.
The money, most of the money you spend in your house is based on food. Because once you finish feeding, you finish paying the bills, finish paying the school fees. I mean, think about it. So you are not buying. So this data is true. You are not buying.
Medicine.
Yes.
I went to the pharmacy. By the time I left the pharmacy, I was out of pocket by some 800 Ghana cedis. Now I was asking myself, so the people who are not within my bracket, for instance, let's assume that I am doing, fairly okay by Ghanaian standards, even if that is not the case. What the people who are down below there, how are they surviving? Because these are regular.
They are surviving by the grace of God.
Yeah.
And by also depending on people like you, which is why the statistical service will tell that the dependency ratio is also high. So, for example, for you, one income earner in another country, if you're living in the UK, you probably have 4 or 5 dependents or 6. You probably have 10 dependents. So all those guys who depend on you for 50 cedi momo, 100 cedi momo, 200 cedi momo, that's why your gray hair is coming. That's why your gray hair is coming. So it's proved by the... To be fair, when you take the BOG data, you take the GSS data, you see a lot of things which are true. All right? When you take BOG and you take... because the last time the GSS released data on labor, employment, and dependency and those things, it tells you income earners are under stress. Because they're having to fend for people who they don't have to fend for because they're not getting jobs. Employment growth is very flat.
Okay, but let's read some of the comments that are coming in. Let me go to these ones on Twitter before we go to what's happening on WhatsApp. So this one from Fatal says, a more efficient monitoring by ECG and DRA is what is influencing the spike in electricity consumption and more tax contributions for fear of prosecution. Similar situation with SNIT contributions as well. Tweeting at us this morning. And this one from James Abankwam says that Ben Koku, tax collection is going up partly due to GRA closing loopholes that enabled some businesses to evade tax. Importers and retailers who hitherto evaded tax are unable to do so as much as they did previously. You should invite Ghana Revenue Authority for you to
don't forget
ask
that
them
Sky, don't forget that the tax people are also doing something. They will be there now. They say they are coming to audit you. We are in 2023. They'll say, oh, this is Sky and Co. 2021 want to do an audit to be sure you pay the right tax, and then they'll
go back.
What tax now? They'll say you owe 200,000
lump sum.
Then you go and beg. You say, how do I owe 200? I say, when we do the tax audit, realize I didn't pay tax of something. By the time you finish back and forth, you pay like 100,000. Oh,
Charlie, I feel. And
so it's part. So the tax audit is there. The tax rate is also there.
Okay. And this one too says that. So what has she done about chairman then? Okay, that's about something else. So this one says, Ben Koku, government increased salaries by 30% earlier this year. The VAT formula was adjusted, so we pay more VAT now. That may explain the situation. More comments are coming in. Let me take some of them coming in via. Okay, Nathan would do us the honors.
All right, very interesting. This one says, as Ghanaians, we have just learned how to live with less. Says the country is fried. Hey. This one says, hello, maybe power consumption has gone up due to illegal connections. Note, you said the data was in gigawatts,
yes,
not CDs.
Yes.
Looking at the hard and difficult economic conditions, I tell you, people will look for ways and means to tap free power.
But this is industrial consumption of power, as reported by the BOG. So it means that they get it directly from the ECG.
So
What?
if
Look, the industries won't stop working. You understand? So like you're saying, maybe they are producing for a different market. Maybe they are producing for export.
Or they are becoming
nobody
less
knows.
efficient.
Or maybe they are becoming less efficient.
Using more power to produce the same goods.
But on the other hand, the data...
Or they are producing the goods and nobody's buying them.
I was coming to that. That's what I'm saying, that the factories... the factories will work. But as to whether people will buy, that's a different story altogether.
I don't know.
You never know.
The data on the sheet, the pink sheet.
Look, maybe there's a market that is buying, and it's not us. A few more. This one says, I can give you possible reasons for the increase in VAT vis-a-vis the flat retail sales. One, there's an increase in compliance. Even from the demographic of businesses we service, most of them are now paying VAT when they were not doing that previously. Okay. What's interesting is that businesses are paying the VAT from their current sales and not passing it on to the customers because demand will stall.
That makes sense.
So many businesses are absorbing the VAT charges and levies to keep their businesses as a going concern. That could explain why industries are still functioning or they are still producing. Hi, Bernard. This is Joseph from East Legon. If sales line is flat, how does that link back to the high number of businesses springing up on the Spintex road?
I told you
just
that,
thinking.
Charlie.
There are things happening.
Some people are doing all kinds of things.
This one
with their
says,
money.
my take on this is that for SNIT, due to increase in salaries, including the 30% from government, VAT largely due to increase in the rate from 12.5% to 15%, and also the increase in surveillance by the GRA. Increase in electricity is because most machines have not been serviced due to the increase in terms of import cost. So the machines are not running efficiently, hence consuming more.
More
Daniel,
have you noticed that when you have an air condition that you don't service for 6 months, your power will go up. If you bring air condition servicing to service the AC, it reduces power. Sometimes you can even decide that I will change the AC to a new version. A newer version AC will consume less power. So this person is right. So maybe the Ghanaian industries...
That jump is huge, isn't it?
No, but he's right. If your import cost is high and you're not servicing your machines, your machines will now consume more power because they are slower.
Yeah, but the cumulative effect of it. Look at
that. Yeah, that's true. But that's the
huge.
point. Because in that period, you've had decline in import activity, fewer imports because of the exchange rate. So if I have a factory which requires a conveyor belt and there's a certain motor that I need to change, and I can't buy the motor because of the dollar, I'll use the old motor and you use more power. And I'm producing the same tomato paste. But the tomato paste you produce with the new motor, the power will be lower. So this is a very important point is raising.
Okay. All right, a few more messages. But the pharmacists have a nice way of dealing with the population. For big men like Sky, they will sell branded drugs to him. But for ordinary people like me, they'll give you the local one.
But I went there in Charlie, what do you?
They know your voice.
They know your
voice.
Really?
All right, this one says, I need further clarification in relation to VAT. I buy an imported item and pay VAT on the item. I add no value to it and resell. Do I need to charge VAT on the item? Won't that be double taxation?
I asked this question at 9:05 to my guest from Ali Nachi and Associates. He answers it. So on our business festival this morning, we're talking about taxes. He answers this question. So just stay tuned.
All right, this one says, good morning, Bernard and team. Indian tourists, in quotes, are in transit through Ghana and they are going somewhere. That's for immigrants investigator. All right, this one says, Sky's explanation for the increase in electricity consumption is plausible. Although the measure is in kilowatt hour, a clamp down on illegal connections could be a major factor. Power that was previously used and unaccounted for due to meter bypass or no meter can be accounted for due to a clamp down on illegal connections. Commercial losses account for a significant part of ECG's losses. I see.
That's an interesting angle. Thank you for that. So you're saying if a company was working and not paying electricity bill because they didn't have a meter, it wouldn't be counted in this data. But you see, the only challenge is that ECG started doing this their thing in March, April, right? Okay, cool. This is May. So
all right. This one says SNCC contributions are okay, the increase in SNCC contributions doesn't mean our salaries are going up.
Yeah, Charlie, the SNCC contribution is serious. So in fact, if of the 9 charts on the table, SNCC contributions is the steepest.
Yeah.
And it's positive. So where is the SNCC people getting their money from?
Go back.
Okay, so let's go back. Okay, as an accountant who's worked in various industries, most companies, especially mining, oil and gas, construction, and real estate, pile up their SNCC contributions and only pay when they get funds from certificates issued. I see. I agree, Bernard. How come we see so many huge buildings going up, various kinds of apartments, but they are all empty? Why? Because one, Richard Sky said, people may be laundering money through these buildings. We may have to take a look at all those huge buildings on the Spintex Road. 2, the rent they charge is so high, most average Ghanaians cannot afford. They normally price those buildings in dollars. Says. But going forward, I suggest the Bank of Ghana should add a supporting note to explain the Composite Index of Economic Activity report to avoid conjecture and speculation on the meaning behind the graphs. George and Spintex.
He said we should do what?
He says the Bank of Ghana should add a supporting note.
Explaining what exactly the graph means.
The graph.
Yeah,
but we can't understand.
We've gone to school, so are you telling me that Composite Index of Economic Activity, I need to read notes? I mean, honestly.
Well, maybe it gives a better context.
Sometimes people they say cement sales. They've written a chart on the left. You're even teaching people in class 4 how to read a graph.
Yeah,
you understand? And you have compared 2 graphs on the same chart. You are okay. Why did BOG put VAT and retail sales in the same box? They want you to compare.
They want you to compare.
Yeah, but
So
if they've put it there and they've written there millions of Ghana cedis on the y-axis, and then the date on the x-axis, and they've told you. So I mean, how is this speculative? Sometimes people make it seem as if we just come on it. The thing is there, and this is something basic. Even if you're in class 6, they show you how to read a graph.
Yeah, but
are you telling me that to read a basic graph about cement sales, this is what you're supposed to do? They've put the 9 charts together so that you can compare the movements. Anybody who's been trained to read charts will tell you that there is some challenge with having retail sales flat and VAT going up. Because one's supposed to depend on the other.
Yeah, but you see, let me attempt an explanation of what he's trying to say. What he's trying to say is that there should be a reason behind the difference we're seeing. So that instead of saying that, is it because of BOG's attempts to do A, B, C, D, or is it because of GRA's attempts to clamp down on people who are not paying VAT and all of that? There should be concrete statement of fact as to what accounts for the situation.
The purpose for releasing this data is for analysis. If they had all
a space for
if they had all the answers to the questions, we will not be where we are today. They are putting out the data for you to make sense of it. That's why you are paid. So if BOG knew everything and what everything means and why they are where they are, why will our numbers be so dancing palogo at the bottom? So are you saying that we should only go and ask BOG to tell us what it means, don't say anything? No, you can't say that.
Maybe some indicators as to what may well be the situation.
That's why people
because they do a lot of mystery shopping and all of that.
That's why accountants are telling you that, for example, the reason why the VAT can go up is because there is tax audit, the tax rate has gone up. So they are giving you the possible explanations, which is why we value that. That's why we are all thinking through it together. Yeah. So if I just write to governor and say, Charlie, what's happening here? You just tell me. That one, Neil Ate can go and do it when he goes to MPC meeting. So I don't have any work to do here. So you should stop that thing saying there, Charlie.
No, well, I understand.
All right, let's go.
Stop that.
A few more. This one says, we may also find out which industries are consuming the most power.
Yeah,
I've noticed a huge rise in the different types of packaged water and sugary drinks on the market. Maybe the packaged water and sugar beverage producers are the ones consuming more power.
There's one data missing here, which I think will help us in our analysis. Fuel sales. Fuel sales will be very good to help us make sense of that, because economic activity also includes
the movement of vehicles.
Yes. And I think if you go to the MPA website, you'll get that. We can use that to check the whether it indeed the economic activity that's come down, the transportation and movement moves in the same direction.
Yeah, because I know that a lot more people have decided not to drive these days. A lot more people are not going to their villages. A lot more people are not attending funerals. Instead of going, they will send the money to one person and send that person to go. So
I'll be keep working an Uber.
Yeah, so I'll be most surprised if fuel sales are up, because things are hard and people are cutting down on their movements across the by plan. But on this note about packaged water and sugar drinks, I'm concerned about the level of or the quantity of sugar drinks on the market.
And the varieties.
And yes, and I don't know whether the health authorities are not watching the space, because these things are happening at a time we are told that there are increases in the number of people who have diabetes or those related infections or conditions.
It's called
lifestyle diseases, right?
Yeah.
Or
non-communicable diseases.
So it looks like we have opened the market to all kinds of things, and yet we are not monitoring how these things are impacting in our life. It's a very dangerous thing that we're doing.
Let's read more.
We have
comments.
to do something about it.
This one says the GRA just came in when we had operated for about a year and slapped us with penalties of over 108,000. We've been forced to employ the services of an auditor, and that adds to our cost of operations to avoid the previous issue, because some of the things the GRA auditor was saying did not make sense, but they took the money all the same. Now, if you are going to buy the VAT invoice, you are asked to bring the previous one, which was issued, for them to audit before they sell a new one. This is a good initiative, actually, but they are disturbing new businesses. Sent from an anonymous texter. All right.
Oh my Ghana. Koya ni man na chi. Yanko team. Makane pen mekane biom. Nyame mam yakoma na menka no boom. Na yanso man be shoot me anaju the swim. But mini choice mempa de ekoso wo krom. First of all,
right, we just want you to tell us why you are not buying, even though people are selling. You know, people are opening new shops, and yet you are not buying.
Okay, so
Ghanaians, why are you not buying? Because according to the Bank of Ghana data, you are not buying. That's the truth. You are not buying at all. You are not buying. The last time you bought was December. From the chart we see, people are not buying. Anything they sell, people are not buying. You know, why are you not buying? Tell us. Why are you not buying?
There's a comment here basically saying that the disconnection exercise embarked upon by Engineer Mahama is being sabotaged by some of his staff, especially those at the disconnection unit. Sky, I called ECG and reported to them of a power theft by my neighbor. The guy is choking his neighbor. And this ECG guy, believe me, he went to give a tip to my neighbor about the call. Yeah, that's how we put it.
So your neighbor then came to now?
And I advised him that he should be smart on his usage of his AC and things.
Are you serious? This guy went to tell ECG that there's somebody using power.
The neighbor is illegally connecting electricity.
And then the ECG guy
goes
to tell the neighbor
that Charlie, your neighbor came to choke you, so you should look sharp.
Are you serious? Charlie, ECG.
Oh, no.
Lawyer Sam or the big Mahama.
Willie?
William Watson.
It's like you're going to the market with, you're going to fetch water with basket.
Somebody from ECG called to Chuk.
Charlie.
And he advised the guy that he should just...
Yeah, for partner, for lay loose, No, Charlie. It's always.
No, this is not good.
It's not good.
It's not fair.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Even if you won't do anything about, don't choke the guy.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
But the guy can go and confront his neighbor.
And then problem will happen.
He's living with you. But why did he go and choke?
That's what you should do.
Yeah, why are you using power
as a proper citizen, you for choke.
Why are you using power without paying?
You for choke.
And the ECG official.
Yeah, Charlie.
Oh, try.
Okay, more companies. City, a lot of the manufacturing companies were not paying the right amount of power they were using. Due to the vigilance of ECG, they are now beginning to pay the right amount. That's coming in from Ken in Trantra Hill. This one says, Bernard, the real question is, what is government using all these taxes they are collecting and the revenues for? This one says, Bernard and team, about consumption of electricity. When job advertisements are declining, unemployment will rise. People will spend more time at home. The fan, TV, and phone will be on, and then will be charged as a whole. But the point here is that we're dealing with industrial consumption of electricity, not household consumption. So there's a difference. And this one says, Bernard, the upsurge in state contributions could also be attributed to people reducing their ages so they can accumulate enough on retirement.
That thing has been going up since the 2021 January. It's been going up.
So there's one that says that. So he's continuing and says, there was a case of a twin and they were civil servants. Interestingly, one retired. And the other 3 years later. How is that possible?
Maybe they were working at different times.
But your age is your age. If it is 60, or is it not 60 that will retire in this country? Yeah, so if it's 60, you have to retire.
Maybe one was on contract.
Unless one was born 3 years later. Greetings, better than team. Most companies are shutting down and are settling old taxes to have a clean or better sheet before folding. Wait to see, as in the next few months, that amount will drop drastically. What I don't know is how, winding up proceedings are hard in this country. I've not followed that closely. I think
how to wind up a company.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I don't know.
Registrar General will tell you something about that.
Yeah, I have to follow.
Well,
that.
it's a minute past 9. We'll read a few more comments before we wrap this up.
All right, this one says, you haven't not looked at the spiritual angle. It says we live in a voodoo economy, or as they say in Benin, voodoo economy, where someone earns 600 cedis, still pays rent of 400 cedis, has 3 children in school, takes care of other things. As one former boss of mine, a Ghanaian American, said, the security guy guarding my gate has a more sophisticated phone than I do. Everyone is a thief in this country, end quote. We steal and lie and say it's blessings from God and the gods.
This man, you want to insult us? Insult us to end the show.
No, he's trying to insult us. Don't do that. This one says, we are not buying, not by choice, but by circumstances. The pocket is just too dry, bro. And this one says, Sky, there is no money. The little we have to manage. Okay. And this one says, because of the haircut, that is the reason why things are the way they are. The haircut that is the people implemented last year and beginning of the year.
The punk that you were giving.
Yeah, Tokyo Joe. Bernard, please, what BAG report are you reading from?
So this is called the Summary of Economic and Financial Charts. Indeed, the documents are 2. And this is all for May 2023. So the summary of the economic financial data, and then there's also the narrative report itself. So I have the charts, but there's the summary of economic activity, financial data, and then the summary charts
Okay.
which have to be read together.
And a little bit of advice. You see the way you are reading, people are asking you this, and somebody even said maybe you don't understand it or something. You see, the thing is, there is official data for almost everything in this country. So for those of you who are listening to us, look, the Ghana Statistical Service these days do a fantastic job of measuring basically everything.
Oh, yes.
ISE does a fantastic job of measuring basically everything in this country. So don't take our word for it. But most importantly, when your favorite political people come and talk to you about their numbers, go to the Ghana Statistical Service website. They measure everything. Go to ISE's website. They have proper information. You also have a brain. Look at it, consume it, and make what you want of it. Okay? So don't just take our word for it.
Yeah.
The information is out there for everybody. It's not, the information is not exclusive to the political elite. It's not exclusive to just journalists. It's there.
One last thing before we go. There's something here called the mobile money. So mobile money is still in the same chart. Mobile money, register mobile Momo accounts. Guess what? Up. Active Momo accounts, up. Registered agents, up. Active agents, up. Total number of transactions, up. Value of transactions, up. So if it's funny, I'll show you something. If you take the banking sector indicators, the charts are checked. So total assets went up, started coming down. Total deposits went up, came down, going up again. Total advances went up, started coming down December. So December was a key part. End of 2022. Capital adequacy ratio, everybody is down. NPLs is sort of like a wave, down, recovering. So my point is that the traditional banking indicators don't look very positive.
Yeah,
but the Momo indicators are all pointing
off the charts.
Is it because of the reduction in the rate?
Yes.
You know, previously the confidence in the system got a major hit because of the high,
the e-levy.
Exactly, and then the conversation around it that they were going to steal our money and all of that. So maybe because of a reduction in the rate by Parliament, maybe people now see a lot more sense in putting their money there. The challenge though is that a lot more people are also
You're actually right. When you come to total value of transactions, there was a dip from 2021 December, and it was flat until 2022 August before it recovered again. So it was when the rate was reduced that it picked up.
But my concern with Momo and its growth is it's still a cash out, largely a cash out based system. I think we've used it long enough to migrate to the point where it's an everyday systems payment.
That's where the
actual value.
That's where it will begin to the multiplier effect will become higher. So like retail sales could recover because people now can buy within the ecosystem. Very important point.
Yeah, but again, also that would require a lot of education. Because you go to these markets, the mokolas of this world. They are not. They are not.
They want their money.
They want their money cash.
To sell his plan and put the money in the basket.
Yes.
They don't want to put the money.
Yes, but the point I'm making is for the true value of the digitized economy that we are talking about.
He's right.
Your Momo cannot just be cash out.
It should not.
It should not be.
They should use it for payments and all.
In essence, 80% of our Momo usage is cash out.
When we come back, we'll be speaking to my tax guest from Ali Nachi and Associates. Is the deputy, executive director, for want of a better word, or partner. And Ismail Ibn Ibrahim has been speaking to us about navigating the tax maze as an SME, addressing some of the tax questions raised earlier on in the show. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show.
It does get better anytime your favorite shop, Melcom, says it's there for you and got you covered with all your daily need items. Continue shopping on products ranging from groceries, stationery, electronics, homeware, kitchenware, furniture, home decor, electricals, and many more at low prices. Terms and conditions apply. Melcom, where Ghana shops.
My name is Francisca Schroeder. Fobaska deals with stationery items, and it takes a lot of funds to run. ABSA, formerly Barclays, has been my banker and has been very helpful to me. My relationship manager came to my shop after checking my turnover and records said I could apply for a loan and training under the ABSA Young African Works program, and it was very exciting. I will encourage other entrepreneurs to join Works program to take their business to the next level. ABSA Medase.
This partnership is in collaboration with MasterCard Foundation. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Here you go, dear.
Mom, you didn't add milk.
No need to. Taste and see why.
Wow, but how?
Is it milky?
Very.
Is it creamy?
Yes.
That's Milo all-in-one for you. It's so milky, eh? I don't need to add more milk.
I love it, Mommy.
Give your kids all in one. It's truly milky and rich in calcium. Milo, energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved.
If you want a British degree from a world-class university at a fraction of the cost, then join Lancaster University Ghana right here in Accra. With a diverse student community, vibrant campus life, and 50% scholarship to support your study, Lancaster University Ghana provides you with a world-class education that creates endless opportunities globally.